Prepare yourself.
Oh, this is the Ninja Troll Digicast.
Hello again and welcome to the Cathedral of Wisdom for the Ninja Troll Digicast. My name is Tim Dixon. I'm here with Mike Worth. Two guys who first thought that Keeping Up with the Kardashians was going to be a Deep Space Nine reunion special.
And it wasn't,
And
damn it!
Still disappointed about that, quite frankly.
But I still think that Kanye West has definitely come through the wormhole from somewhere else.
He's definitely not from
He's
Earth,
an alien,
so.
for sure.
Welcome to the Ninja Troll Digicast. We've got a lot of great stuff to talk about today. We're going to have, in our showcase segment, we're going to have a look at the greatest science fiction novels of the 80s.
Bow, bow.
Yep, we're going to go back to new wave music and hair metal and great science fiction. They go together. We can't help it. And also in our comic rack, we're going to talk about one of those great novelists from the 80s is now venturing into comic books, and I am extremely excited about this.
Oh,
This is one of my favorite authors. So,
awesome.
So we're going to talk about that. We got a lot of great stuff in the comic rack. Something that could have been that I think would have been awesome, and we might get again. I think now because this is coming out, we might get a series that should have been and now might happen again.
Cool.
So, and also in our movie and TV news, we've got a load of stuff. The Walking Dead this week was crazy, brutal, good.
Man. Yeah.
With a lot of ramifications, I think, for the way they are going forward. And
Absolutely.
we haven't seen Negan, but he's there.
His
in the
presence
offing.
looms, I know.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, but let's just start out with some of the stuff that's happened this week. Tidbits. That's right. Happy birthday this week to Oscar Isaac. If you don't know that name right off the top of your head, which you probably don't,
But you know who he is.
Yeah, well, it's one of those. Oh, it's him.
And I couldn't believe that he is these two great characters in science fiction, which in comic books, which I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's exactly. I was the same way. But Oscar Isaac plays Poe Dameron in Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and he's in Ex Machina.
Yeah, Ex Machina, whatever.
Yeah,
it's a science fiction action film.
Okay,
He plays some
see
weird
that
guy. He looks like Professor Strange, frankly. He's got the
okay.
beard and stuff.
Huh.
But I couldn't believe he was Apocalypse.
That was the one that surprised me. I'd never realized that was him. That was the same guy.
And I love Poe Dameron. I feel so bad making fun of Apocalypse looking like the bad guy from Power Rangers. From the Power Rangers.
But I mean, it doesn't affect that we like this guy. So.
What two huge roles!
And
Good
it is,
Lord.
yeah.
I mean, he's in two franchises. That's major. So
yeah, and it's in not tiny parts. That's a big deal.
no, I mean two Marvel properties, right? I mean Star
Basically,
Wars.
yeah.
But I guess Star Wars, it's Disney. So
They're all.
but they make the comics.
They're all
right.
in bed together
They're all
anyway.
together.
So. So happy birthday to him, and also the greatest man ever, the most manliest man ever.
Say it right, or you get punched in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Chuck Norris is
Yes.
76 years old. Is it today?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Man, he was 76 in 1976. Good Lord. He's old. He still has red hair. How does that work?
It's called hair dye. I wouldn't say it to his face. So. Yeah,
You shouldn't have even said it now.
that's true.
You better
That's true.
watch yourself on the way to the car.
Me. If I get punched in the face.
Yeah, with a flying sidekick.
Yes. Actually, the turning sidekick was his go-to move in the when he was competing, when he was actually kicking people's asses for real in tournaments. And that was always the joke. You knew what he was going to do, but you still couldn't stop it. So
Yeah, that's true.
or you can go back and watch Return of the Dragon with Bruce Lee.
Oh, yeah.
They fought in that, and he had this
Quaff.
gigantic
Man
chest hair
rug.
mat. Yeah.
Roar.
Ugh. And
In the
Bruce
shape
actually-
of Texas.
Yeah. Bruce actually used that against him. He grabbed a head and ripped it off, and then like
Damn.
blew the hair out of his hand after he ripped it off.
Now, if that landed near water and some fertile soil, we would have grown another Chuck Norris. He would have been in trouble.
Yeah. That would be awesome. I don't know if the world's ready for two Chuck Norris.
Chia Chuck.
Yeah.
But it's just like a shell of him. It's not like it's like a hair shell.
Yeah. Ooh.
But anyway, happy birthday, Chuck.
Yikes. Also, Bethesda released a trailer for the new Doom game.
Oh, how does it look?
Crazy fast, but it's all the multiplayer.
Oh,
so it's all crazy, fast-paced, murdering, just on a huge scale.
And is it going to be like team-driven, like the other games, where it's like?
It seemed to be, I don't know if it's team-driven or not.
Okay.
But you can become the demons.
Oh.
There's a way you can become the demons.
So it's multiplayer. You can play everything. You can
Yeah.
be everything, do everything. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But it's so fast-paced. It's one of those things that you just start up and.
Are you going to get it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I probably will.
Might have to take some vacation.
Yeah, because I never have been a huge fan of the multiplayer unless it's like some guys sitting there around in a room and playing there.
Right, my friends, so I could like tell them they suck later
Exactly,
while
yeah.
we're having a beer and dinner. Yeah,
Exactly,
right. Versus
yeah.
like getting creamed by a 12-year-old who's like, you got
who's in
pwned.
Iowa. Yeah, exactly. I don't need that.
Iowa, damn, that would hurt even worse.
I don't need that static. So, but if it's in the same room with some friends of mine, yeah, I do that all day.
All right.
So,
Well, if you get Doom, maybe I'll get it. We'll play against each other.
yeah,
I'd love to kick your ass at something.
It looked really, really good.
Oh, I'm excited.
So,
That's such a good game. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
and it was so fast paced. And granted, it's edited together, so maybe they picked the juiciest ones and the fastest stuff to put together. but
Intense.
still,
Yeah.
it was really, really intense. So,
Nice.
and I finally got a chance to watch the Darth Maul Apprentice
What'd you think?
fan film.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
What the
The
action was
yes,
incredible.
The acting, not that great.
No.
But actually, the funny thing was, the guy who played Darth Maul was the best actor in there, and he never said a word.
Not Ray Park, but the guy who
the
played
guy
Darth
who
Maul.
played Darth Maul in this.
He didn't have to, man. Some of those looks he
Yeah,
gave were like
exactly.
menacing. So,
Yeah, and you could tell, like at the end, he was with the I guess the Padawan is who I took it. They never specifically said that she was a Padawan,
right.
but it seemed like she was the one that was not quite up to snuff. And
You're talking about the Jedi.
Yeah, the Jedi. Yeah.
Sith don't have Padawan. They're just apprentice.
They have apprentice. Yeah,
There's no
and
word
see,
for
that
it.
was my thought. Was right there at the end, he's looking at her, and my first thought was, I can complete your training.
Oh yeah,
And
right.
he can
And
take
then
her
take
as
her
an
over to
apprentice.
the dark side.
But then he looks at the camera that he knows the Emperor is watching, and then he decides no mercy and goes ahead and kills her.
Yeah,
But-
man, when he called in those things, I was cool. I mean,
Yeah.
So remember how you always said, "Wow, I always hated in Phantom Menace how he looked so cocky. It was so stupid. It didn't." I think this backfilled it, right? Even though it's a fan film, but you made it now where, yeah, he's going to be cocky in that moment because he won last time he did this.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
he
took
killed
out-
3
he-
Jedi.
Yeah,
I mean,
he took out. No, it was more than that. It was like 5.
was there 5?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And
He was a
for
beast.
somehow, Scorpion from Mortal Kombat got in there.
Yeah, really.
What is that?
I know the moves were incredible.
Yeah.
He did like some force grabs where he would just whoop and like freeze people and hold their
Yeah,
bodies. I
and
mean,
the effects that they used with when they were doing the force push,
right,
and the little effect that they used, the special effect, it looked great.
right.
It looked really
The air kind of warped, blurred for a second.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was not like your average fan made. This was like a group of film students that got together and decided to do this.
It was great quality. I mean, like you said, the acting was the worst part.
Yeah.
But
But if you just said, hey, Lucasfilm did this little short film to kind of fill in some of Darth Maul's backstory, it wouldn't have surprised me.
if they call it a web short, I'd be
I
okay
would-
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. It's not like I would look at it and go, oh, well, there's no way that Lucasfilms did that. It held up pretty well.
It looked like Attack of the Clones. Like it had that
Yeah.
same special effect
Yeah.
look to it. And well, whoever these guys are,
Yeah.
make more of these. These are great.
Yeah, that was really
more
good.
fill-in like that is great to expand the universe.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And also, Jerry Ordway this week posted a card onto his Facebook page. He posted a card that he drew and everybody at DC Comics signed for the late Christopher Reeve right after he had his accident that paralyzed him.
Oh wow.
He drew an original Superman like flying up through the clouds, and everybody at DC Comics signed it. and they sent it to him. And it's the inscription said, "For Christopher, the man who made me want to draw Superman." So that was really cool.
For Jerry Ordway.
Yeah,
wow.
I think he was just simply cleaning out his desk and found it, and so he scanned it and put it up on Facebook.
Thank goodness for stuff like that.
Yeah.
We never see that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's something that nobody would ever see besides the Reeve family.
Oh, man.
So yeah, it was really cool and cool that they would do something like that for him after he had his accident.
The greatest. I mean, look, there's a few actors who have immortalized some of these characters. He's one of them.
Yeah, he's
sure.
absolutely one of them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's awesome.
But that's our tidbits for this week. Now it's time for our movie and TV news.
Meanwhile, back at the Cathedral of Wisdom, it's the movie and TV news on the Ninja Troll Digicast.
It's a bye week this week, meaning that I get to take on the news. So here we go. A couple of goodies. We're going to start off first with some movie stuff, and then we'll get into the TV of this week. So first thing we heard is that Spider-Man rumored to debut in the new Captain America, which we knew already in the Civil War trailer.
What? Yeah, we knew he's going to be in the movie.
Yeah,
but supposedly he's going to be in the next trailer.
And that's today, right? That comes out.
I think so.
Yeah,
that would be really, really cool.
Because the teasers have been out now for the Iron Man side and the Captain America side, which are pretty good.
But they've never shown him at all.
No.
And I actually saw, on this same token, I saw a picture online, a cartoon somebody had drawn of like a fan going, I want to see what Spider-Man, like pounding on his desk going, I want to see what Spider-Man looks like. Bring me pictures of Spider-Man. And he stops and he realizes he goes in the bathroom and starts shaving his mustache into the J. Jonah Jameson one because he's realized that he's turned into him. So I think we're all like
cigar.
That.
Yeah, right. Bring me.
I want pictures of Spider-Man. But yeah,
Parker.
I cannot wait to see what he looks like. And how they incorporate him. This is a little farther down, like when the movie comes out,
right?
How they incorporate him into the story, and how they do it.
I'm hopeful, but I don't know. I'm worried. I feel like I'm a little worried. They got to do it really right.
Yeah.
Because like we're seeing with a few things, if you hit wrong the first go, you lose the edge. Right.
Green Lantern.
Things are. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Now everybody, anytime you mention Green Lantern, oh God.
Oh, you're talking about Alan Scott.
Movie.
Yeah, Alan Scott. Yeah.
So you got a good point. Yeah, if you got to do it right. But Marvel now has a track record. Late breaking news. The new Civil War trailer is up.
Oh.
I just got that in from our correspondent in the media services office.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
So we may have to watch that. And should we pause and watch it and then talk about it?
I think so.
Let's do that.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. Watch the
you
trailer.
You won't realize we're taking a break, but
okay.
We'll be back.
All right.
Well, there we go. We stopped. We watched. We were.
What'd you think? I wasn't incredibly blown away.
I by the trailer itself or by Spider-Man?
Okay, so Spider-Man was the bee's knees for you.
No, I don't. I think the trailer as a whole was
quality?
really good.
Yeah,
very good quality. I like it because it has questions answered, but then more questions left out. We did get to see Spider-Man.
What was some of the highlights for you?
The highlight for me was most probably Spider-Man. I'm a little torn. I like the design of the suit from the neck down. the head looks.
It's for radio. It's for the Spider-Man radio show.
Yeah, it looks a little weird, and his voice. I mean, he is. Hey. Yeah, it was kind of.
Hey guys.
Yeah, it was kind of like that.
What's up?
So the
and
voice
his eyes
is a little underwhelming.
Emoted.
Yeah,
right. They
use
shrunk.
CGI eyes so that he can like
CGI
Deadpool.
eyes.
CGIs. There we go.
Amazing.
We could trademark that right now.
Song.
Get the intern on that.
Like Betty Davis eyes.
Yeah. But yeah, the mask design I'm not too sure about, but it was cool. His entrance, Iron Man calls him Underoos, and all of a sudden
he hits Cap with some webs.
He steals the shield from Cap and handcuffs him with webs.
In one go.
That's
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But overall story, it looks like it's shaping up to be that Rhodey gets hurt somehow. You said that
Yes.
there's like a big smoking hole where the arc
Yes,
reactor
he
was.
gets hit by somebody. It's edited in this to make it look like Bucky did it.
So
But
Bucky's
the shot of Bucky firing right before you see Rhodey get hit.
Right.
He's inside, so it's not like Bucky did that.
Okay.
But Rhodey is flying when he gets hit. So the arc, at the very least, the arc reactor is taken out of the suit. So there's nothing powering him.
So he's going to hit the ground.
So he's
like
going to
a
hit the
brick.
ground hard.
Yeah.
So, but it does seem like Rhodey is, if not dead, he's at the very least severely injured.
And
Tony had a big shiner at one point too.
yeah, it looks like they hit each other a couple times throughout the
Yeah.
trailers.
Oh yeah.
Him and Cap. So it's looking like that Bucky and Rhodey are going to somehow scrap, make things worse than what's
And there
already
was-
attention.
And there was a spot where Bucky was fighting Tony.
Right.
To the point to
Oh,
where
yeah.
Tony stood like he got the gauntlet on his hand.
Through his watch.
Yeah, through his watch.
That was incredible.
And he starts fighting Bucky, and Bucky fires. He catches it with the gauntlet.
Right.
But the look on Tony's face is like, "Holy crap! You just shot me."
So that means it's on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bucky's
that's it.
willing to cross the line.
Yeah.
and It's on.
So it's. I mean, you also get a shot of Bucky, a flashback of Bucky being thawed out one time by his Russian keepers.
Oh, so I bet there's something he had done, Bucky, that like a long time ago.
There's
that
a
maybe,
lot. That's the thing. There's a lot of stuff he's done. He doesn't even realize what all he's done.
So he's gonna have to maybe have a day of reckoning. I mean, it
Yeah.
could be like you're
And I think
protecting
that's part
Bucky.
of it.
Yeah.
In the first trailer, when you see Cap and Falcon, when they find Bucky, if you look closely, he's got his titanium arm in what looks like a vice, like he's trying to rip it off
Oh God.
when they walk in. So yeah, he has to deal with everything he's done, even though he wasn't in control of himself when he did it.
Wow.
He has to deal with that.
Wow.
So he's got a fair amount of survivor guilt. Well, not just survivor, just guilt. Period. But one thing that is paramount for Captain America is loyalty.
Right. Especially to his friend who was
Yeah.
loyal to him. Right.
Exactly.
They set that up early in the first Cap movie.
Yeah, and so the leader of the whole thing is Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
Which is good to see him kind of folded back in. I wonder if Betty will show up.
Or who's Hulk's girlfriend.
yes,
Right? Bruce
yeah.
Banner's girlfriend.
And
saw-
whether
Black Panther. We saw
Yeah.
Ant-Man.
a lot of action shots of Black Panther.
Oh,
Because before we'd only just seen like a pose.
And he got shot at and bullets ricocheted off
Yeah.
of him. Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know he could do that.
He's got a pretty
Maybe
pretty cool suit.
vibranium, titanium.
Yeah, that's
suit,
where vibranium comes from.
Right, Wakanda.
Is Wakanda. So
That's right.
But yeah, we got a lot of action shots with him. We got
Ant-Man is.
Ant-Man. We saw him as well. We saw Ant-Man riding one of Hawkeye's arrows.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool.
that's some classic stuff right
yeah,
there. you
That's
know?
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of really good stuff out of it. And you can, I mean, we got to see Spider-Man. Take it for what you will.
Yay.
I'm still gonna hold out for the movie to see.
You look pretty
How I
70s.
feel. Yeah,
you look
he
like
does-
the
yeah.
70s live action Spider-Man.
He kind of did, except
Wow.
it didn't have the 70s
mesh.
live action had like the mesh in the eyes.
Yeah, right. Like
It looked
Mike
like a
Bug.
salt shaker.
Yeah,
or
right.
something.
I'll be right there.
So yeah, the voice was a little underwhelming,
Yeah.
but he's a kid, and that's what they're playing this at. Is he is a kid in an adult deal here.
And he is the Spider-Man who will be in the Sony
I believe so. Yes.
movie. Okay, all right, cool. Well, if they keep that continuous and it's good, and
Mm-hmm.
this isn't like a random rogue version of Spider-Man, that's it. Cool. I think I'll accept it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm. The whole point of a trailer is to make you more excited to see the movie. It did that. So there you go.
All right. I'm
So-
still waiting. I'm waiting for the I don't know. See, you converted me to DC, and now I'm like,
Are you not sold
I
on this?
I,
On the movie?
maybe I need to read it again. I don't know. You know how you get into a mythos and you just want to stay there.
Yeah. I understand.
Well, maybe I need to do this. In our second story here, there are some theaters across the nation who, just before the movie comes out, are going to have a ultimate Captain America movie marathon to kick off Civil War.
Now, what all are they playing?
So they're going to play the original Cap movie, Winter Soldier, and I think Avengers.
Probably Avengers.
Yeah. Let's see. Captain America movie marathon 2016. Here we go. Okay, cool.
So it'd be 3 movies then, I guess?
I think so. Let's see. Okay, so Captain America Marathon to coincide with the film, the first Avenger, the Avengers, Captain America Winter Soldier, the Avengers Age of Ultron.
Oh, okay.
And then it will just end with the Cap Civil War.
Okay.
So it's just 4 movies or 5 movies?
5, including Civil War.
Okay, so it says that it'll be at 11 and a half hours.
Yikes.
So is your body ready for that type of thing? So, all right, maybe not. Maybe we'll just watch the one movie and see how we can do.
We'll string it over a couple days.
There we go. Yeah. So if they showed the Captain America on the motorcycle and then the original Cap movie that came out in the 90s, now we're talking.
With the shield was the windshield of
the
motorcycle. That was awesome.
Or the other one, the one in the 90s. I forget whenever that one came out. And like Red Skull looked like he had grape jelly on his skin and stuff. And,
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
probably on purpose.
They used the Foley guy had like a car hood that he would just hit, and that's what the shield sounded like whenever he'd go. Sounded like a sled I used to have. But speaking of this world, Fox is going ahead with the Venom standalone film, which will be very exciting.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure the CG is going to be bananas.
Yeah,
but it may not be connected to the Spider-Man movies. It might be standalone.
And I'm not sure how does that work?
Maybe
how
they'll
can it not be connected?
Right. I mean, it's like Eddie Brock is sort of born out of the Peter Parker story.
And that's why Venom hates Spider-Man so much, because you had Eddie Brock who hated Peter Parker. Then the symbiote hates Spider-Man because he rejected him.
Right, from Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't understand how you can do that. That has to be, to me, that has to be spun out of a Spider-Man movie.
Well, they did the Black Suit Spider-Man, but that's now out of rotational mythos, so they'd have to bring that back in order to set it up.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know, maybe
unless it just, I guess you could do maybe a montage at the beginning to kind of tell the story.
To speed. Yeah. Be like during the Secret Wars.
Yeah, or just just do like they did in the third movie. It somehow got here, and it gloms onto him.
Yeah, and that's all you need to know, really. Yeah. I mean, I think it was convenient from the Secret Wars that went on. So in the comics, I never fully understood but that spurred a whole new era of Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he changed. He got way more aggressive, and because the symbiote was doing it to him.
Right,
it was making him more aggressive and
unlimited webs. He could jump further. He could hear better.
Gave him powers, he gave him powers, awesome. But it changed his personality. And while he was wearing that, there was a comic that I did a wall piece on, and he was standing on the cover. He was standing over Daredevil because he just beat him down. Ooh. Yeah, it is. I mean, that's just not something Spider-Man does.
He was cranky. Was he cranky in the movie?
Yes.
I never saw the movie.
Oh, don't. Amazing. Please don't, because it's there's so many moments that you just know.
That hurts your feelings.
He turned emo basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he never did that in the comic, did he?
It was bad. It was so bad. I mean, they played up that he was, he was quick to get angry. He was like, the old man that he rents the apartment from is always talking about rent, and he screams at him about, fix the damn lock on my door and you might get your rent and something like that. And so he's like on a hair trigger, and he's just a really big time jerk to Mary Jane. But quite frankly, you watch that trilogy of movies, she deserves to be treated horribly.
Oh damn! This sounds like another episode for Nerd Rage.
Yeah, she's horrible in those movies. So
well, however they do this Venom film, I think it's just gonna be great. I'd love to see Carnage too.
Exactly. And that may be what if they kind of gloss over, or not gloss over, but do a montage of how he gets to be Venom.
You could
And
easily
then-
say
and then
Carnage, right? I forget the origin of Carnage.
He was
He's a piece of
he
the
was
suit.
a piece of the suit, or some type of.
Didn't he get
maybe-
exposed to some sort of gun? I feel like something happened, and then
Something
Carnage.
happened, and a little bit split off of him. It's because it's always Carnage always looks at Venom as his dad, basically.
Oh, okay.
So,
And then there was White Carnage too, right?
is there another one?
There was like a white Venom
Holy crap.
Spider-Man Carnage. I remember just seeing it once. I didn't pay attention.
I don't remember that one. Let's see if we can. Okay, well, Cletus Cassidy is Carnage's host, I
cousin?
guess, for lack of a better word. He's a psychopath and a homicidal sadist. Yikes.
There you go.
So, he was a killer before he got the symbiote. So,
That's right.
yeah, he was in. Oh, he shared a cell with Eddie Brock, who had lost the symbiote. Bonded. The symbiote returned and bonded with him, allowing him to escape prison. Unknown to Brock, the symbiote left its offspring in the cell, so it is an offspring.
Okay.
So, it just jumped on to Cletus, who's already a homicidal maniac. So that's why it just made it worse. Because Eddie hates Peter, and he wants to ruin his life, but he's not
chaotically.
a murderer.
Yeah, right. He's
not
just
a
a bad
murderer.
guy. Yeah.
So yeah, that just made things worse.
Well, we shall see.
Yep.
Some sad news. Joseph Gordon-Levitt has left the Sandman adaptation setup. The actor-producer Gordon-Levitt has left the Sandman that he's been working on with Neil Gaiman, David Goyer, and Jack Thorne.
This really surprises me. I'm
He
not
was all
sure.
gung-ho.
He was up until it got transferred to a new studio, I believe. He went to New Line or something like that, and they didn't have the same ideas
Oh,
for it.
but New Line put out Lord of the Rings. They did.
Yeah.
They do a great job.
But I think the people that were in charge of it for the studio, they just didn't mesh with him.
They had ham hands.
Yeah, and I hate that, because whenever you have somebody who's that big of a fan of something, they're gonna show love to it and
give
do
it time.
right.
Yeah, and the extra hours and stuff.
Yeah, and do it right.
Oh god.
So yeah, I'm sad about that. So hopefully somebody, the next person in charge of it, has a good handle on the material.
Well, I hope they bring him back in somehow and make it right. Well, that was some bad news. Some incredible news. Sylvester Stallone is going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
That is awesome.
And
that
we
is absolutely awesome.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. Him and Kurt Russell.
Oh yeah.
Who are they going to be? They got to be
I
some
have no
idiot
idea.
idiot meathead guys.
Maybe they're Ravagers.
Oh, maybe.
That
You know what I
would
was
be
thinking
cool.
the other day? Starjammers.
Oh Lord. Yeah. Yikes.
But maybe not. Maybe I won't jinx that. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, that was. I heard that he was on set and like riding in Chris the car that usually takes Chris Pratt to the set. So that's how the rumor started.
Oh.
So because it's not like he would that car wouldn't be taking him somewhere unless it was like an official visit. Like it wasn't like he just dropped by.
Yeah, right. Like,
So
how are you guys doing? Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like a studio car.
But there's speaking of that movie set, there's some photos of James Gunn that he put out online, having the whole cast sort of just pose for some of the early rehearsals and sort of setup and everything, and they look like they're just having a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, Quill is already like hanging off of people and stuff, and it just looks like it's going to be a really funny
And Groot
movie.
is about, maybe like 6-7 inches tall. He's growing now.
Oh well, they didn't. It was only the real life actors.
Oh, okay.
No
okay.
CG stuff
There was
showed
one, I
up.
think there was one that was released. It was a picture of them coming down a hallway, and you see Groot standing on
Oh, awesome!
Drax's shoulder,
Nice.
and he's only he's maybe
He's a
6-7
sproutling.
inches. Yeah, he's growing up. So, and if they don't make a Groot plush like that,
They
they're
better.
just,
Yeah, right. The little.
they're leaving money on the table.
I hear you. Rocket Raccoon with the little stick.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. Usually it's the other way around. Zack Snyder talks if Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice will start a DC Comics and Marvel rivalry. Isn't there already one?
That's what I was about to say. I think it's already there.
It's been there forever. Yeah.
Maybe not in some people's minds. I mean, because I've never understood the whole Star Wars versus Star Trek, DC versus Marvel. I read both.
Yeah.
I mean,
and they inhabit different spaces. Maybe
Yeah.
because it's like Star Wars is different than Star Trek, right?
well, that's my thing. It's like, okay, why?
Because the Empire is the good guys.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, why do I have to pick one? Why can't I watch both? Why can't I read both Marvel and DC? Why can't I watch both the movies?
Well, because Tim, you're like an adult and like you have cognitive dissonance. There are some people out there who are like, it's either black or white.
Yeah, it's either this
know?
or that. Yeah, I mean, there's characters in DC that my favorite character of all time is Batman. It's DC,
Right.
But that doesn't stop me from loving Captain America, the Punisher, all the
all
other
different.
yeah. It's just different characters in different places. So I think it will. I don't think it necessarily needs to, but I think it will.
For sure. But
And
I
like
mean-
you said, it's not like it hadn't already been there. Just the comics.
and I don't know, does Warner Brothers have like as much reach as Disney as far as merchandising, parks, all that stuff? Is there WB Parks?
Yeah, at least there used to be. There was
Are they involved in Universal? Oh no, Universal's that, right? That's their park.
they did have, or if not parks themselves, they had agreements with different, because there was a Batman ride somewhere.
Carowinds used to have they had Paramount.
Yeah.
Paramount.
But I think
yeah.
they had entered a deal because there was I don't think it was there at Carowinds, but there was a Batman ride somewhere. There was
a Superman ride.
there's a Superman
You
ride.
like lay flying forward.
Yeah, and this was at Carowinds, but it was a Star Trek Borg ride.
Killer.
Yeah, there was a Borg spear, like laying in the
That's awesome.
in the middle of this ride. So yeah, they have it's marketing. They're right there with.
Okay. Maybe Great
with
Six
Disney.
Flags they have it at?
That was it.
Because they had the
Six Flags.
Superman, I remember.
Yeah.
The Superman ride.
The Batman ride. Yeah, I remember that now. It was Six Flags. So
All right. So maybe it's going to go down. We'll have to see
Yeah.
what happens. This is really exciting. The Star Wars spin-off Han Solo film will feature Han and Chewbacca's origin story.
that'll be nice to finally get that. I mean, because it's always been rumored. Oh, yeah, Han. What I've always heard is
Yeah, what is the official
Han saved him. He was a slave, and Han freed him. And
off
so that's
Kashyyyk
why,
or of another planet?
I think it was another planet.
Okay.
But that's why he's always with him, and he always protects him because he has a life debt to Han.
Wow.
So that's why he's always with him.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, that'd be an awesome backstory to see.
Yeah.
So
And it'd be nice, just one way or the other, just tell us exactly what it is.
please,
So,
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be nice.
Great. Talking a little bit now about Batman and Superman. Sorry, we deviated there for Star Wars. Ben Affleck has commented that the Batman solo movie is in development.
Sweet.
So we're going to get that. That sounds
Sweet.
pretty good.
I understand it may be a prequel.
Oh,
So we'll get a little younger. I guess he'd still play him.
Wow.
But just as a young, instead of the grizzled Batman that we're going to get in
Dawn
Dawn
of
of
Justice.
Justice, we'll get a younger one.
I hope they do a year one. That would be just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And like have him just fail and be crappy.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck would be good at that.
Well, that was kind of Batman Begins,
Yeah.
was that part of the story.
Yeah, it was more his
So,
training, right?
yeah.
Year one was more about like, hey, I'm Batman and I'm new
Yeah.
on the job type
Yeah.
of thing, right? Wasn't that how Miller did it?
Yeah.
Okay. So that'd be cool to get going. This is a little bit of self-patting on the back. Time Warner CEO thinks that the WB, the movies like Batman, Superman, and Suicide Squad will drive the record year in 2016. You think so?
Yeah. I mean, I think with the amount of stuff that's coming out this year, it's going to be crazy.
How's Deadpool done?
Oh, it's last I saw was 600 million.
Okay, so not a killer.
But I mean, it's not like touching Star Wars or anything like that.
Right.
But for an R-rated movie,
That's amazing.
It's the biggest. I think it's the biggest R-rated movie ever.
By the way, I saw like a kid who had to have
And
been
that
at
includes
least-
Porky's. I mean, come on.
Oh, wow. Now we're saying something.
Now you're saying something.
Yeah, we're getting in Porky's 2 territory. Okay. All right, but nothing will ever touch meatballs.
Oh, that's true.
Like the alien. So, what about Civil War? I mean, is that set to do any sort of
it's going to be huge.
killer?
I mean, and that's the thing. It's. I don't think anything's going to get to the Force Awakens level, but you're getting up. I mean, you think about 600 million. That's and it's not done yet. So
Right.
I mean, it could be $750,000 before it's done.
$1 billion.
Yeah, $750 million. Thank you.
You didn't do the pinky. So.
Billion. And then you think about, okay, that was Deadpool with an R-rated movie with a more niche
Character.
Yeah.
It's not a general, like kids can't even see that, so you don't
Exactly.
even touch the kid market.
Yeah, so then you got Batman, Superman, and Suicide Squad, both
man.
that are more acceptable for a general audience. I don't know for sure, but I think they're both PG-13
Okay.
or maybe PG. But
Suicide Squad cannot be PG.
I think they're going for PG-13.
Good Lord. Okay.
So they're, like I said, they're more geared towards a more general market. So you're going to get more people to see that than you would to see Deadpool.
Yeah.
Most probably.
They're going for PG-13,
Okay.
but we'll see.
Yeah, it hasn't. I don't think it's actually been.
Nah, I
rated
think
yet.
it has to get close to coming out.
Yeah, and then Batman versus Superman is PG-13. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. That's a lot of violence. And
Yeah, exactly. So, but they're more well-known characters through pop culture with Batman and Superman, not with the Suicide Squad.
yeah.
But those two characters alone are the two biggest superheroes in the history of pop culture.
Kids got to be able to. Yeah, it's going to crush.
Yeah.
So this might be. This might be Time Warner, WB thinking that they're going to just do better than they actually are. But.
Well, no, I think this could very possibly be a record year for films, and that would certainly be part of it. Because there's going to be some big. I mean, these are all blockbusters.
They are. Anything? Or is there any Star Wars stuff slated for this year? Rogue
Rogue
Squadron?
One is December.
Oh.
Or Rogue Squadron is in December, so that'll tack on as well.
Oh man, I can't wait for that trailer.
Like we called 2016 is the year we run out of money.
I knew
we have to go watch all this stuff.
I knew I felt a little lighter as I was walking.
Yeah. Yep.
All that money I have. Yeah. Tell you kids, an artist's life. It pays.
Ghostbusters as well.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
going to be another blockbuster that's going to be huge. And My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2.
Oh, the sequel?
The sequel.
Opa's Revenge?
That's right.
All right. This was stunning, but Gary Busey was just added to the Sharknado forecast.
Oh, my God.
I just threw him in my mouth. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Why do we have to do this?
I don't know. He was pretty good in whatever that movie was, like Waterboy or something.
I'm not talking about Gary Busey. I'm talking about Sharknado 4. Just stop it.
Tim, we have to explore this phenomena of weather. Okay, it's an amazing thing. Okay, because I heard that the Sharknado was a lot worse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Worse is a thing that's thrown out a lot around Sharknado.
Especially when it happens in your own pants. I mean, the Sharknado.
The Sharknado.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
It is. So let's transition to TV news.
Okay.
New Game of Thrones trailer came out. Did you see it?
I watched some of it, but I couldn't hear it that well. So I kind of just figured I'd come back to it later. And I'm like, this is season 6. It's getting ready to start. I think I'm two seasons behind. I think 3.
So you don't need to see
so I'm
this
not
stuff
even,
yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Jon Snow's dead or not dead, maybe.
He's been hurt
something.
really bad.
Yeah. That was the whole raging conflict was like, is Jon Snow actually dead?
Right.
And other than that, I'm not quite sure what's going on. So I'd need to catch up.
Well, the picture that they sort of painted is that it appears that like characters who in previous seasons were very ambitious and were sort of seeking power have changed their tune a little bit. And then those who have been knocked down are starting to sort of regroup and seeking to then recapture power again.
I saw Cersei
with the short haircut.
Yeah.
Because she had been shamed by that religious sect
Yeah.
which you haven't seen yet. Yeah,
No.
there's like a religious sect
Yikes.
that forms that like seeks to purify all evil, and they get really it's dark.
Yeah.
More so than what what's her name Arya is involved with in Bravos. Oh, I'm killing you.
I haven't got to that part either.
Yeah,
She was what was she was with
that weird guy, the
Yeah, the-
man, the god of facelessness, or forget his name, many faces.
no,
You know that man from Bravos who helped her a couple of times, who like killed those men for her when she had asked him to?
No, he was the yeah,
Not Littlefinger.
the assassin.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
yeah.
finds him later, and and
Okay.
he trains her.
Okay.
Wait till you see.
Yeah.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah, the last I remember seeing of her, she's with what's the guy with the half of his face is messed up?
the
Dog.
the Hound.
The Hound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, she is.
Okay.
Yeah, she's trying to. He's trying to take her back to the twins.
Yeah.
Not Minnesota, Minneapolis, but
Yeah.
that other city in Westeros. But now with the events really emerging and changing in the north at the Wall and in Essos, right, shifting, it seems that this season is going to be no less gruesome, macabre, and bloodthirsty than the rest.
We would have it no other way.
But we're seeing now characters like Bran, who's been sort of off on his own adventure, right, while everything else is going on, now becoming showing up in more main events. Like we see him do this quick juxtaposition with the evil White Walker King,
Yeah.
who I mistakenly called the Lich King from Warcraft. That's what he looks like. He's a snowy zombie. Come on.
Yeah. True.
But this is incredible. This trailer broke an HBO record, getting 30 million views within its first 24 hours of release.
crazy.
Only held by the season 5 trailer, which had like 25
Yeah.
million views.
So it's breaking its own records now. That's
So,
crazy.
Everybody's really excited. And then,
Yeah.
in the news, George R.R. Martin assures us he is not dead.
Did people think he was dead?
People keep putting out rumors that he's dead.
Oh, that
and it makes
sucks.
people like subreddits form around these rumors. And like people are like, well, we have to write the rest of Game of Thrones.
No.
And it's like, I don't know why that keeps happening.
That's-
He looks like an old Beatle. That's why
He does,
He
yeah.
just he never quit like Captain and Tennille. So
he just got the hat.
with the hat, yeah. The views were split between YouTube and Facebook, with 8 million views coming from from YouTube, and then 22 million coming from Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. Yeah, 27 million with the Game of Thrones season 5. But let's shift here real quick and talk about The Walking Dead this week.
Yeah.
This was an amazing episode.
It was brutal.
I mean, it was Rick's line just before everybody's about to go kill. This is how we eat.
This is how we eat.
Oh man, that was just so dark but so real.
My favorite from Rick the last couple episodes has been wood. He kills this dude and everybody's staring at him. He goes, "What?"
Yeah.
And then he punches this defenseless severed head in the face.
Yeah, right.
And the guy's staring at him. He goes, "What?"
Yeah. And then he's like, "Your hand's broken.
Your
Tell him
hand's
you got
broken."
into a fight." Yeah. But man, right? So we learned about the saviors, and that the Hilltop community was in debt, and basically Maggie works out the deal that like they'll basically become the saviors to them to get half.
It was really great to see Maggie step up and start to take charge.
Brokered the deal.
And and just because she had the leverage, and that's the thing. Gregory is a jerk,
Yeah.
but she learns from him
How to manipulate
people,
Right.
and how to get what she needs.
Well, she said to him straight away, like, "Hey, don't be talking to me this way.
Yeah.
I'm not your baby.
Yeah.
This ain't
She
happening."
pushed back.
Yeah, exactly.
She pushed back on him, and that's the thing. Is she in the comics? She becomes the leader of Hilltop.
Oh, interesting.
So
I
that'll
could
be
see
interesting to see. What is going to happen there?
I could totally see that.
Yeah.
So what?
I'm sorry. Over the past 2 episodes, we've had a couple new Abrahamisms.
Oh man, what's going
He
on with him?
is so awesome. You need to write that stuff down. And when you was mixing the big
Yeah.
squid, were you trying to make pancakes?
Yeah, right.
and have Glenn just like the. What the hell's he talking?
And then go, "Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
I was.
get it. Yes.
Yes, Abraham, I was."
Yes, now we
Yeah.
get it. And it was something else he'd said, and that was last week's episode. This week, there was something else he said.
Well, he told what's her name
yeah.
that I thought you were the last woman in the world, but you ain't.
Oh,
God, I was like, damn, that's
dude,
dark, man.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Oy. Who's he getting fancy with?
Sasha.
Sasha.
Yeah, he has feelings for Sasha
Because they're on patrol together. I mean,
yeah,
good
and
lord.
he kind of realized, I think that was, he didn't phrase it right when he did it, but that was the thing. It was just, okay, this is not working, and there's other choices. And that's what he's kind of realized.
But Sasha did not seem into his, like, he was like, oh, okay, see ya?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. And she was like, yeah, no.
But
Like she kind of had that way.
He's not exactly Romeo. I mean, he doesn't, he's very straightforward. Oh, the one this week was,
yeah, what was it?
Sasha says, why is this way? And he goes, well, why are dingleberries brown?
Yeah.
Because that's the way she is.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you could write down his quotes.
He's starting to get to a new place,
Yeah.
Abraham. But I like him. He's
I
funny.
love him. Yeah, he's awesome.
funny as get out. But the big event was the raid,
Yes.
right, on the Savior's like communication TV station satellite or whatever.
Yeah.
And like those red lights. I mean, when they finally when the one guy came out and like took the head and then they came in and knifed the guy, the other guy, I was like, damn, these guys are dark.
This is really brutal. And I mean, with me, I know this group, and I know from the comics, I know they're harsh and brutal their own selves. And so I'm right there with Rick going, yeah, you got to do it. You got to, if you can jump on them and get them without a fight, you got to do that.
Yeah.
But you also got to look at these and seeing Glenn and Heath have the issues that they had with doing this. It shows that there has to be some kind of remorse from what they're doing. They're killing people in their sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say, they're bad people and they're going to come and kill us if we don't do this, but you're still killing people in their sleep, and you have to have some kind of remorse for that.
Totally. I mean,
and Heath couldn't even do it, and Glenn
stepped in and killed that guy. I thought that guy was going to wake up.
Yeah.
The way they did the knife across the face, I was like, oh, I would wake up.
Yeah.
If I heard that or saw the light, I'm sensitive to that stuff.
And this was Glenn's first non-walker kill. It's the first time he'd killed a human.
Oh, wow.
And he did a lot, too, because they shot through the door and took out all those, those people,
From
too.
the armory? Wow, yeah, that was a big murder.
Yeah.
Oy.
But they were all chased. I mean, it was at that point, it was self-defense.
Yeah.
The ones in their sleep,
that's
not
murder.
so much. Yeah, that's just murder.
So everything went down. It seemed like the crew was going to be successful. I was like, someone's going to die. Someone's going to die. Someone's going to die. I just kept thinking that with the way it was so risky.
Yeah.
But the Carol Maggie sort of squabble in the woods.
Yeah.
I thought, oh well, all right, at least that's over. But then they got caught right at the end. Right. Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Yeah.
We get some dude pops out on Daryl's bike. Right.
Yeah.
And then
no, it wasn't his bike. It was.
I thought it was the bike that he modded, and then it got stolen. Right? Didn't he have like a super
That's
bike?
right. Yeah, he did. And he said, "Where'd you?" Because they showed the bike, and then Daryl. See, I didn't catch that was his.
Yeah.
And that's why he was going, "Where'd you get the bike?"
I thought he had stashed it at one point because it was out of gas, or I forget what the deal was with that. But anyway, that was the bike because I remember the way it looked and everything had.
That's why they showed it. That was the.
And Daryl said, "Where'd you get that bike?"
Yeah.
He wouldn't care
My
otherwise.
bike.
My bike. Yeah.
He did that with Jesus.
My truck.
My gun.
Yeah, my gun.
That's my gun.
Yeah.
And I saw when they were doing the raid, there was one point where the light was falling on Daryl's face, and it looked like for a second he had an eye patch.
Oh.
And I just in that moment, it was just a trick of the lights, but I was like, he's Snake Plissken. He has become Snake Plissken.
He really is. Yeah. Time for
awesome.
Snake to get the job done.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
That's Daryl. So, yeah, it was. This episode was really brutal.
They need to rename this one Escape from Alexandria.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the show should just be called Escape from Atlanta.
But this obviously was not the entire scavenger group or savior group.
Then they must be a huge group because I mean I couldn't believe, and I thought for sure, oh, this is when Glenn will die. You know, like Negan will be there, catch Glenn, kill him, and then they'll capture him because you had told me that they captured Negan and put him in the brig.
Yeah,
and
well, that's long. Actually, that's after the war.
Oh, there's going to be a war.
But
okay.
The incident with Glenn is the first time he shows up. That's what he does the first time.
So then,
so they
if
know
they stick with it,
yeah.
and we've heard now the announcement is that Negan will show up at the end of the season in the finale. That may be where we see Glenn's death, or it's the first thing that we see in the next season, perhaps. Yeah. Oy. How many episodes will have? 3, 4?
Something like that.
So it's getting down to the wire. So really big things are starting to occur. And who was that woman on the radio at the end?
She's part of
Negan's group.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That may be. I forget her name. But Negan has a right hand man. I think his name was. It wasn't Daryl. What was it? It was. They introduced another guy with the same name. And so, like, immediately people started going, "Oh, is he part of Negan's group?" But he has a right hand man who part of his face is scarred.
Ooh.
Because Negan did it to him.
Oh, right, to
take his woman. So I'm thinking that may be her. That may be now Negan's woman.
Damn.
Yeah.
This has just got like desert-bound biker gang nastiness all over it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the war with Negan's group is totally brutal, and for the longest time you're like, okay, there's no way they can do this. There's no way they can come out of this.
Show's playing with my emotions.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was a killer episode. We're excited, I guess, to see now, right? I mean, they've got Maggie and Carol. That's what they said, that they've got them captured. So, and Glenn's face was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's I think that's why Carol was after. Is like, why are you out here? You're pregnant. You don't need to be, and you need to be something different. She sees that she can be a leader now, and she has a baby, so she needs to be out of the fray. She doesn't need to be doing this stuff.
Right.
And
Judith and whatever that baby's name will be of the future.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see this, because in the comics, the baby that they raise is Sophia. When Carol dies, they take Sophia. Became a zombie baby. Glenn and Maggie raised Sophia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, I don't remember. No, she never became pregnant in the comics, but they raised Sophia
as their daughter.
Yeah, after Carol was killed.
Oh, okay. But because they inverted it, it's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, and so you've got that now. Her talking to Maggie, saying you need to be something different. So it's interesting to see that, knowing the comics as well.
Maybe they'll kill Maggie and then Carol will become a mom again.
I don't know.
Yeah, Carol's.
That's a little crazy.
But she did make those cookies.
It's true. Yeah, the acorn and beet cookies.
Why are they pink? Yeah.
Yikes. I just looked up the episodes. Next week is The Same Boat. Then there's 4 more episodes. So, no, I'm sorry. This week, Sunday the episode will be called The Same Boat. After that, there's 3 more episodes for the end. And the finale is April 3rd.
Wow.
So
that's coming up.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Just some Walking Dead oriented news, but Emily Kinney,
who's that, Beth?
Beth, yep, from Walking Dead. She's off the show now, right? Obviously, her character's dead. She's going to join the cast of Arrow on the March 30th episode.
Was she on there before?
I'm not sure.
Who's she playing?
She looks kind of like a nerd. She's got glasses and, her hair is all kind of pulled back and everything. But, yeah, that came up. It looked really interesting that she's going to be on I don't know the title of the episode.
Beacon of Hope.
Beacon of Hope.
Yeah, I think wasn't she she was the bug-eyed bandit, the girl who could control the little bees. Yes. She has been on there before,
Okay.
but now she's
Wasn't that
her
Flash?
her last name was Brie Larvin.
Brie
Larvin.
Larvin. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Wasn't
take the bug.
weren't the bugs on Flash?
Maybe.
I feel like because that would make sense to be a Flash villain, like Arrow. What would he do to that? That's sort of strange.
No, she breaks out of jail and turns up at Palmer Tech, threatening to kill everyone unless she gets the biochip that is implanted in Felicity's spine.
Oh, ooh. Yeah, right. That's the chip that Mr. Terrific created, and now Felicity can walk.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that should be great. Is that the return episode, or is it next week that we get to return?
That's the 30th. So that's the next week.
Okay, so the mid-season premiere coming back.
No, that's next week. No, it should be the 23rd.
Okay, so
the
we'll have
next
that.
week will be
this episode.
as Bug-Eyed Bandit.
Cool. Well, I'm glad she's working beyond Walking Dead.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Now shifting over to Supergirl, we saw it was off this week, so we didn't get a new episode. But the Flash and Supergirl crossover, it takes the teaser takes homage from the world's finest art from the cover that this one's based on, this story, and the synopsis is released. It looks pretty good. Much like the same quality that the Flash of Two Worlds teaser had with Teddy Sears and Grant Gustin. So it looks good. It's them racing, right? Superman and Flash.
Yeah, and that was the World's Finest 198 and 199 were both Flash and both issues were Superman Flash racing.
Nice.
And
yeah,
apparently it was a little heavy
racing
metal
around the world. But to promo that,
the obnoxious site that was just playing that ad without me asking it to, she was on the Flash. She was originally on the Flash's Bug-Eyed Bandit, and then now she's going to be on Arrow because she wants that chip.
Oh, cool. Okay, so she was the Flash villain. All right, that makes sense. I thought so.
Yeah, it does seem a little
weird one for
yeah.
Arrow.
She was controlling
the little nano things.
Nanites. Yeah, nanites. Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad that's going to happen, and I'm very excited about this Flash Supergirl crossover. Obviously from the Berlantiverse, so that's going to be really nice that the two networks are really willing to give that up. That's fantastic.
And he's going on the Flash. He's going back in time soon. I don't know if it's going to be when he comes back, but he's going to go back in time. I read this morning. He's going to go back in time to try and learn more, like pose as himself and try to learn more from Harrison Wells, the Eobard Thawne Harrison Wells. But and so we'll see Eddie again. Yeah,
I've heard that Eddie's going to come back. I think he's the Man in the Mask by any chance, or
I don't know.
Yeah, we got to find out who that is.
Yeah,
that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I've been talking with some folks. There's lots of
there's theories all over the place.
After image, a clone, a twin.
Yeah,
it could be Eddie. I've heard too now, so that could be interesting that's coming back. Really interesting that if we shift here to Legends of Tomorrow, we didn't have a new Arrow this week. So we're going to have all that stuff returning next week, which will be fantastic. But Matt Nable, who played Ra's al Ghul, will be returning his role on Arrow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, on Legends of Tomorrow. And he's going to be on the March 31st episode.
Oh, so he's going to be like a younger Ra's al Ghul.
Exactly, because they're going to go back. And then this past week, the episode was really interesting. We got a mention of Kanjar-Ro and Imperiex. And those are like some great villains from space. Yeah,
they're both Superman villains, I believe.
Okay.
Kanjar-Ro was Justice
Adam
League
villain?
No, he was Justice. I remember seeing the Justice League fighting him.
And I remember seeing like sometimes even on like Brave and the Bold, there was a Kanjar-Ro episode, and Batman wore his like space suit.
He was from an alien planet. So
he looked like a bug, right? He was all kind of robotic bug looking.
Yeah.
And that they make an appearance, and then Bonnie Baxter, the captain, is an existing Time Master character. So on this last episode, we saw the other Time Master captain, and you got a little bit of sort of backstory on Rick, right? Like she was very much against him or on Rip, and then Rip had to explain to her like it's because of this thing called love, right? That I did this, and I think she came around at the end of the episode and said, "Wow, well, the Time Masters maybe are corrupt here."
Yeah.
So that's good. He has an ally now who can help them because the ship, man, it keeps breaking.
It needs to update. It's that was the big thing is
right.
Every
it's
time
firmware.
they go back to Vanishing Point, it syncs itself with the computer.
So he has like an old iPod,
right?
Yeah,
basically,
that he's flying around with.
It needs to get the update.
That's right. He's still playing Angry Birds 1. He has no idea they did a Star Wars edition.
That was really good too.
But that's really cool. Yeah, she did give him some info about the whereabouts of Savage at a certain time frame, and this was interesting. I guess in a mention, there was a little nod about a character who's coming up that Savage will play, or the character will, Dr. Curtis Knox, and I guess apparently on Smallville, I didn't watch that, but that was a character that Dean Cain played,
and it was supposed to be Vandal Savage. But they asked them to change the name and not use him.
Okay.
So the name it was changed to Dr. Curtis Knox, and like you said, Dean Cain played him.
Right.
So
it might not be correlated because we've seen Dean Cain on Supergirl. So he's not going to be on the show.
Yeah.
But they showed a picture of the character or the actor who plays Savage dressed up as him.
Yeah. I think it's more of just a nod to the character that was used in Smallville.
Gotcha.
Because they've done stuff like that before. Smallville's not attached. I guess technically it's in a parallel universe, but or it could be alternate timeline or whatever they would want to call it. But it was it's on Smallville it was supposed to be Vandal Savage because the description of the person
was pretty
much dead on except for the name.
Oh, like an immortal pirate.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we also learned that Rip Hunter, right, isn't his real name.
Yeah.
He said that. Right?
Yeah, he said it in the episode that it's not that's not his real name because they don't use real names because otherwise they would go back and
kill their family.
Exactly.
Right.
You know
it's Dragnet. Yeah.
You know what his name is?
What is it?
Carter. That's his last name, as in Michael John Carter. Booster Gold.
Get out of here.
Booster is his dad.
That's right. You've told me that. Yeah.
Booster is his dad.
Will we ever get Booster?
Oh God, I hope.
Okay.
That would be awesome.
Well, apparently this character, this Curtis Knox, I read something that it had something to do in the comics with Booster, that there was some story that he was involved with that in some sub story. Yeah. And
Curtis
I saw his name.
Knox.
Come up. So I wonder.
Maybe.
I mean, he'd be such a cool character. I mean,
yeah.
If Blue Beetle and Booster would be excellent, next level characters, I think, to bring in. I mean, gosh, we're getting Trajectory and and the Atom. It's like, does the Atom need to be on Arrow?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't. It'd be a cool standalone show.
Yeah.
But we're getting D-list characters or B-list, C-list characters. It'd just be great.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
So shifting over here into the Flash, we did see pictures of Trajectory in full costume that has been released from the episode.
Looks like Leah to me.
Oh, that's
Every time
exactly
I see
what
her,
I thought.
Yeah.
It's just that hairstyle she has.
Yeah.
It's like
the
the braids.
red mask too. So yeah.
It's the smoky eyes. It's the smoky eye look, Tim. It's the red smoky eye look. Yeah, I thought it looked just like Thea and her get-up. So, yeah, whatevers. But amazing news. CBS is renewing Supergirl for a second season.
Yeah, that was awesome to hear. That was really cool.
Seriously. What was awesome to hear is that you liked the show because you were beating it up in the beginning for a while.
Well, it had to get its legs under it. It was the first couple episodes were pretty rough.
They were.
But if you look at Star Trek Next Generation, that whole first season was pretty crappy.
Yeah?
But
compared to what?
After it got its legs under it. As a matter of fact, I stopped watching when it first came on. The first 5 episodes, I was like, this is crap. And they're just rehashing old original series episodes. So I stopped watching, and then a couple years late, a couple seasons later, I think it was Carpenter was telling me, like, they've really started to get really good. And I started watching again, and it took them a season, maybe season and a half, to really dial everything in. And they went on to have some incredible episodes and went on for, what was it, 8, 9 seasons, something like that?
Total for TNG?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but the first season was crappy. I mean, just bad acting, rehashed old original series
Stuff
scripts, and just
well, that's what they gotta do, when you reprise a show with such legacy like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta before you figure it out.
Yeah, after it, and same thing with Supergirl. After they got their legs under them, it's been great ever since then. So,
and they've done a great job of leveraging the sort of acting legacy of the Supergirl, Superman
community.
Yeah, the
basically,
community of people.
Yeah.
So that's exciting that CBS is doing that. That's a great hit show for them.
Yeah.
We did see the new Daredevil teaser.
Yeah, we finally got to see the Punisher skull.
Oh, it looks great. So we got sort of a voiceover with Daredevil, Elektra, with size, and then John Barenthal cocking a huge.
I didn't see a
gun.
video. I just saw the posters.
Dude, there's
the
a
pictures.
video. You haven't seen? There's a trailer.
No.
It's like a quick teaser. No real footage. It's just Daredevil suiting up, like
Yeah.
the gloves, and you see like the face. And then Elektra has like the ninja. She looks like
the hand. Yeah.
She looks like what's it called? Like Melina from Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh yeah. Mortal Kombat's all in this.
Mortal Kombat's everywhere. As soon as Big Trouble in Little China, right? As soon as I played that, I was like, Raiden was from Big Trouble in Little China. I get it. But then we saw John Barenthal with a huge gun, and they all voice over,
Okay.
sort of like.
Yeah, I haven't seen
saying-
that. I saw the posters. Is what I saw.
This is like a
There's just
moving
pictures.
version. There's just
Sweet.
little tiny clips, but it's so worth it because it's like they look like a team, and
Yeah.
they're like,
Cool.
it's all close up of gearing up.
Cool.
So that was good. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was this week. Did you watch?
I haven't watched it yet. No.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
It's getting a little weird. I'm seeing that dude who was like all hunky in the beginning look all
Yeah,
weird and
Grant
mutated.
Ward, yeah.
and-
So he's the one that I was telling you Coulson killed on a alien planet, and now he's here because there was an alien entity that that they were running from on that planet. He killed him, and so now it's got a body basically.
all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, Coulson just crushed him, crushed his rib cage and killed him.
Ooh,
Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
damn.
He was like,
With his hand, his like metal.
yeah,
hand.
his metal hand. Yeah.
Oh right, he did
And
that.
that's
brutal CPR.
Yeah, exactly.
we
It was
called it.
really brutal. Yeah, he just crushed him.
And then lastly here, Seth Rogen has released new Preacher posters, which are awesome. Check them out because they're just fun and they basically provide no redeeming social value.
Oh no, of course not.
So like there's a smoking priest and like it's just
Yeah.
it's going to be great. I'm very excited about. I'm not a Preacher fan. I know of it. I've sort of
Yeah.
had friends say, "Oh, you got to read it." I'm going to start with the show, and then if I love it, I'm going to do
The
comics.
trailer that I saw, the original trailer I saw, was
Looks really
really
good.
interesting. Yeah, because this little kid comes up to the preacher, and apparently it's a rumor that preacher used to do bad things.
Oh.
So this kid comes up and says he wants him to hurt his dad because his dad hurts his mom and him.
Oh, I've seen this.
And,
And I
he-
remember this.
He's like, he's all right. How far you want to go? This don't ever go down easy. So he's gonna fight back, and he's like, I mean, it's brutal to think about talking to a kid about stuff like that, but he's demonstrating to the kid it's not always as easy as you think. That stuff doesn't always go that way.
Right.
So it was very interesting to see him laying that out for the kid. It looks like a really good show. So
I'm excited.
yeah, and they got a hell of a track record. AMC's got a hell of a track record. So
Oh man, they're winning with all these great comics. Like they've been mining the sort of Vertigo Dark Horse realm there, and I think they're just going to keep winning.
yeah,
But we'll see what FX does with Southern Bastards. That's
Yeah.
going to be a real juggernaut, I'm sure.
yeah.
So Timmy D, this does it for our movie and TV news on our bye week.
All right.
So let's spin the comic rack, my friend.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break, and then we'll spin the comic rack when we come back.
I like a break.
You'll take a break. All right. All right.
Our hailing frequencies are always open. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just search Ninja Troll Digicast or drop us an email at ninjatroll@digitaltuxedo.com.
Just now, Another kid dropped out of school. There's one every 20 seconds. Over 200 kids an hour. That adds up to nearly 5,000 kids every school day. If we do nothing, 3.5 million kids won't receive a diploma over the next 4 years. But there is someone who can change that. And that someone is you. United Way knows that kids who have a caring adult in their life are more likely to make it. So make a pledge. Tutor a child who needs help. Mentor a kid who needs someone on their side. Volunteer to read to children. Because the path to success or failure starts long before graduation day. And the difference between a graduate and a dropout could be you. Take the pledge to volunteer now at unitedway.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Meanwhile, back at the Cathedral of Wisdom, it's time for the comic rack. Hey, nice rack.
Knock it off, perv.
No, it's the latest news from the enormous world of comics. Right here on the Ninja Troll Digicast.
All right, welcome back to the Ninja Troll Digicast. And in our first thing in our comic rack is really exciting for me because it's one of my favorite science fiction authors. William Gibson will write a 4-issue limited series for IDW Publishing called Archangel. And the art will be done by Jackson Butch Geiss.
Who's that?
He's been he did a long run on Superman back in the Death of Superman era.
Oh, okay, so the 90s?
Yeah, he's been around for a long time. He's an incredible artist. So, yeah, it's really exciting. Archangel was originally planned as a screenplay with actor Michael St. John Smith, but it just never got picked up as a movie. IDW contacted him and wanted to do a novel, one of his novels, and his first thought was, I've got this screenplay that this would be perfect for.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, his work is great, classic stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
A lot of odd titles from the 80s, too. Dazzler and Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
The Last Starfighter.
Oh, the adaptation of the movie?
Yeah, Marvel had a limited run, 3-issue run. Yeah, with the stone-faced dude on it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But
cool.
But Archangel is set in a 2016 that is very different than the one we know today, thanks to the use of a machine called the Splitter that can tamper with various alternate realities and histories. That right
Very
there,
nice.
just even if William Gibson wasn't attached to it, that sounds really interesting to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's supposed to be out in, in June, maybe.
Cool.
So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. And we also, we got Batman 66. Was it last year or the year before that started? It went for a good while.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it seemed to be a very
2014.
successful series.
Well, I was successful in buying them.
Yeah,
yes.
you bought them. You love them. What would you think about Batman 89?
Oh, my God.
That would be awesome.
I would love that. So how would they set it up?
Well, on his blog, Joe Quinones posted some sketches that he had created with Kate Leth for a pitch to DC for a Batman 89 comic that would be set in the world of Tim Burton's
awesome
1989 movie. And quite frankly, now that this was obviously a while ago that they did this pitch, and it was turned down. But now with the success of Batman 66,
why not?
I think that would be great.
Yeah.
And it was took place after the events of Batman Returns. And it would have seen the return of Selina Kyle / Catwoman, as well as introductions to the Burton versions of Robin, Batgirl, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and a Billy D. Williams version of Two-Face.
Yes.
That would be awesome to watch his...
Who loves you, baby?
to watch his turn from Harvey Dent over to Two-Face.
Oh, man.
I think that would be great.
That'd be awesome.
And the artwork that he posted was awesome.
I saw a glimpse of it. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Selena Kyle with the hair sticking out of the Catwoman suit.
When she was all messed up. And then they even had a thing like her looking out across the roofs of Gotham at the bat symbol and saying, that's 2 of my lives better save the rest for next Christmas or something like that. So it was like it'd be a setup for her coming back later.
Cool.
But yeah, I would love it.
I think it would be fantastic if they did something with that. I mean, 66 was great. 66 isn't dead.
I thought it was.
Well, it has its own series, but now they're doing Batman 66 meets, and they're doing these sort of independent, like once every 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. They did Man from U.N.C.L.E. There's a couple others I think that were slated to come out that brought these retro properties back. Let's see, Batman 66.
Probably do. They'd have to.
Oh no, it's its own. Yeah, it's a run.
Okay.
Batman meets the Man from U.N.C.L.E. Batman meets the Green Hornet.
That's why I was about to say they could do Green Hornet with Dynamite. They own Green Hornet.
And then they have the Avengers, not the Marvel Avengers, but the British Avengers meet 66. 13 Batman 60. Oh, sorry, Batman 66 that need to happen.
Oh, that need to happen. Okay.
Well, no, those are set. Those are for sure going to set, like we said before. Oh, man. Yeah, there's some good ones that they're suggesting. Batman 66 meets Star Trek. I Dream of Jeannie, Lost in Space.
I Dream of Jeannie.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
The Monkeys.
That's cool.
Get Smart, Maxwell Smart. The Saint. Oh, God.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be pretty good.
Well, I think the 89 would be killer. It would be such a cool thing to expand on, because I love that era. You know, like the original Tim Burton Batman and Returns. They're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for the Penguin with the crazy nasty teeth. And
Danny DeVito. Why did they do that to him?
Yeah, I don't know. That was pretty nasty.
They should have made him suave instead of nasty.
Yep. Yeah. But next month, Boom Studios will release Joyride from the creative team behind the best-selling series Hacktivist. Jackson Lansing, Colin Kelly, and Marcus Toe. Here's the premise. In the future, Earth sucks.
All right.
The stars are blocked out by a barricade called Safe Sky, and the World Government Alliance watches over the people, training children to join the militarized Allied youth and taking out any resistance with a giant ray gun. When a girl gets a message from beyond the barrier, from outer space.
Okay.
From beyond
Safe Sky?
Yeah, beyond Safe Sky. She jacks a spaceship and punches through the stratosphere, but her and her crew of teenagers are not prepared for what they are about to find. Joyride #1 releases on April 13th.
Oh, that sounds cool.
It sounds pretty good, yeah.
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 It's like Logan's Run a little bit.
Kinda. Yeah, kind of. So yeah, it does sound, it definitely sounds interesting. And Boom Studio has been doing some really good stuff.
Yeah, for being a real independent. I mean, they are not, like, Image is not independent anymore.
Yeah.
They're pretty mainstream.
Yeah, exactly. So, now Marvel has released a preview of Ta-Nehisi Coates and Brian Stelfreeze's Black Panther #1.
Oh, cool.
Along with an article from Coates describing his goal for writing comics. This is a quote from the article. Reading the Amazing Spider-Man comic books as a kid, I didn't just take in the hero's latest amazing feat. I wrestled seriously with his celebrated tagline, with great power comes great responsibility. Chris Claremont's The Uncanny X-Men wasn't just about an ultra-cool band of rebels. That series sought to grapple with the role of minorities in society, both the inner power and the outward persecution that comes with that status. And so it is, I hope, with Black Panther. The questions are what motivates the action. The questions, ultimately, are more necessary than the answers. So this... See, and I kind of knew this is what it's going to... Of course, Brian Stelfreeze's artwork is going to be crazy good.
I'm looking at some of the preview images.
The preview images they put out there. Yeah. So I knew the artwork was going to be great.
Here's his concept art.
Yeah.
I love that. It looks like Alex Toth.
Yeah.
Like old school Hanna-Barbera. But then, like, the colored stuff, I mean, like...
Yeah, it looks great. It absolutely... Yeah.
Amazing. Awesome. I mean, just legendary.
This is going to be... And I kind of figured it would be with Coates doing the writing. Because he's a journalist. He's just a journalist that happened to grow up reading comic books.
Nice.
And this is going to be a very intellectual approach to this, very well thought out approach to comics that I am really looking forward to reading. I think it's going to be very, very good. And of course, like I said, Stelfreeze on art, it's gonna look
be
beautiful.
great. Yeah.
So, hey, I'm looking forward to the new Black Panther series.
You know, you're a journalist.
I am I'm a
You are.
broadcast journalist.
Just so happen to love comic books.
I do. Now, Robert Kirkman tweeted out the cover of the new issue of Invincible, due on shelves April 20th. And with that image, also announced the return to pencils of series co-creator Corey Walker.
Oh.
So I am looking forward to that.
Nice.
Big time.
How long has Walker been off the book?
He left like in the 60s or 70s. The numbers of the issues, not.
I was like,
not
damn,
time.
Invincible's been going for a while.
Yeah, they're on I think 126, or 127, and he left when they were like issue 70 or so.
Oh, all right.
So he's
a
been
little
gone
break.
for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's going to be awesome to have him back because some of the iconic stuff from the series has been like one of the best covers. There is a villain, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he's essentially he has a mutated brain, so it's almost kind of poking out of his skull. And one of the best covers he had was just a real close-up shot of that guy screaming, and it was just crazy good. It was, and I remember reading the trade paperback. They were Kirkman said he took a picture of himself screaming and sent it to him and said, I want that character, and like I said, I can't remember his name. I want that character doing that on the cover. And he said, and he knocked it out of the park. It was just
awesome.
Straining neck and like the just screaming and the gnarly, disgusting brain at the top and everything. It was
Sounds like
really
Fist
good.
of the North Star.
Yeah, it was really good. That's right. Fist of the North Star.
Yeah, that dude's brain
guy had to have
exploded.
it wrapped up.
Yeah, with the metal cage on his head.
I forgot all about that. Yeah, that was good stuff too. So,
Yeah.
and DC may have removed the Killing Joke from canon, if it was ever in canon.
Yeah, because the Joker was Red Hood, the original Red Hood.
It kind of never was meant to be in canon, but they included in canon the fact that Barbara was paralyzed.
Right.
So it's over time it's kind of been accepted that it was brought into canon.
And is this where Jason Todd is killed?
No.
Okay.
No, that's when she was shot.
What was Jason Todd killed?
Jason Todd was killed in Death in the Family. That was issue.
Oh.
It was 426 through 430 of the regular Batman series.
Okay. Before or after Killing Joke? Before, right? Way before.
I think it was before. It was probably close around the same time, though.
Okay. So I feel like the era-wise, because they're both post-crisis stories.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Death in the Family was 88 through 89. And it was 426 through 429.
And then what was
Then
Killing Joke?
Killing Joke was...
Was that in a run of Batman?
No, it was a
its own?
standalone.
Okay.
That is the English post-punk band called Killing Joke. Not Batman, the Killing Joke. That was 88, so it was right at the same time.
Oh, wow. Okay. Dang. Dark times.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But yeah, like I said, over an amount of time, it's been kind of accepted that it was part of canon. But now,
in New 52, Barbara can walk again, right?
exactly. In the latest issue of Batgirl number 49, Barbara is dealing with a villain called Fugue, who has messed with her mind and inserted fake memories. While dealing with this and trying to straighten out what is real and what is not, images from her past were shown. One of which was the iconic Joker from Brian Boland wearing the hat, and he's saying "smile" like when he was taking pictures of her.
Oh God.
Yeah, exactly. And it was implied that this was a false memory. So, but then they admitted that she had been paralyzed, and now she's better.
Well, you remember in what was it? Was it Countdown to Infinite Crisis when we had a multiverse crossover world for a second, and then she was okay, and then both Batman and Robin were like, what's
going on?
Yeah, like they couldn't believe it that she was up and walking. So maybe they, I don't know what they're thinking.
I don't know.
Always.
Well, it's now, the series now, Batgirl series now is much more lighthearted. So maybe having that trauma in the past was just a little bit much, and they wanted to.
But it's so cool.
I know that was the thing that really got me about putting her back in the suit as Batgirl. The problem was she had made peace with what had happened to her.
Yeah,
and
served
and was still
an effective member of the team.
An effective member of the team, and was fighting the good fight, and still continuing to do that even despite what happened to her.
Because Alfred sucked at the computer.
Yes.
I'm sorry, sir. Which button do you mean?
Where's the any key?
It's only blinking 12 at me. Yeah.
So that kind of took away some of her, some of the richness of her character. So, but that was the decision they made. So
okay,
you never, after Rebirth, you never know what we'll get. So
if the man wants to be called Muhammad Ali,
that's right.
Respect his wishes.
And in the Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, number 4 came out yesterday. It features the Turtles taking up residence in Wayne Manor.
Ooh.
But Raphael doesn't get why everybody trusts this Bat person. So Batman takes him to Crime Alley to tell him the story of how he became Batman.
I mean, right? Raphael is rude but cool. And Michelangelo is Raphael is cool but rude. And Michelangelo is a party dude. So that would explain that.
That's right.
That's interesting. I mean, how many issues are they going with this? I feel like it's like
I thought it was 4.
Flash in the pan. Yeah,
I thought it was 4, but maybe it's a little longer miniseries. But they've discovered that the mutagen is reverting here.
Yeah, right. In this universe,
they're gonna end up being just
turtles,
normal turtles, and a rat.
I mean, it makes sense that like they could fight Killer Croc together. Like, that would be like a good crossover villain for them.
Shredder, at the end of the last was number 3. Shredder has now met Ra's al Ghul. Yeah.
Wow.
So that is
Ra's will learn the secret of the Foot.
Yeah, that is going to be interesting.
Wow, the Foot Clan and the League of Assassins.
League of Assassins.
Wow,
that's going to be
the
interesting.
Foot Clan are just idiots.
Well, they're fodder. So they're like stormtroopers.
Oh man,
you just throw loads of them at things.
Wouldn't it be cool if like Krang and who would be the good alternative to Krang? Like a little mutant beast. Like MODOK is obviously Marvel.
Yeah.
We'd need something like him.
I don't know.
Maybe Desaad or something. Or
yeah.
Would be the closest.
Kinda.
Yeah. Anyway.
Per
Degaton.
Yep. Yeah, per Degaton. Dan Didio says that his favorite Rebirth title is Super Sons.
Cool.
And it has been
Family
confirmed
of Superman?
That's going to be basically Superman Jr. and Batman Jr.
Oh,
a
nice.
half human son of Clark, and then I guess it would be Damian, because when they first did that, I think it was maybe World's Finest or one of the anthology series that they had pre-Crisis. They did a series with
like
the
Children of the Justice League. Oh,
at that time, Damian wasn't a character, but now there really is a son of Batman.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see if they use him or if it's somebody else.
And they're pushing this new Superwoman, but it's not going to be Earth 3 Superwoman.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard what exactly it's going to be.
There's an image of her. Have you seen her?
I haven't. No.
Yeah, here she is in the center.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, right. She's interesting. She looks kind of like Power Girl.
Yeah.
Booster Gold.
I wonder
and
where she's from.
I don't know. But it just says, the lineup of the Superman, right? Hyphen Superman, Superwoman, and the Super Sons.
And that image looks like the original.
The Super Sons.
No. The Superman. That looks like the original drawing that Joe Shuster did. Yeah, because Superman, the character that they originally came up with, was bald. and he was like an overlord kind of thing, and that looks like that image.
Wow.
So
okay.
maybe they're going from that.
Oh, The Reign of Superman, 1933.
Ah,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
yeah.
Look at this image. Look at that. That's
Yeah,
so crazy.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, I remember that was the first thing they.
Why didn't that
did.
hit? Folks, it's horrible looking. He looks
Yeah.
looks like a bad 30s
Well,
Metropolis.
if you think about it, he was Siegel and Schuster were probably 13 when they did that. So I mean,
Yeah.
you got to come a little slack.
It's so funny, and this is, he lives in Metropolis.
Yeah.
The movie Metropolis is sort of like an German expressionist
Yep.
type of crazy film, and you look at that
And
city,
that's exactly what it looked like.
and
yeah.
this looks like the evil overlord,
Yep.
who controls the building, and
Yep.
oh man, wow.
Metropolis, the movie.
Superman is based on the hero of Fritz Lang,
had one of the coolest robots too.
the
The
Ladybot.
crazy Ladybot. Yeah.
Maybe that's where we get Brainiac
Fimbot.
with the machine gun chevrolet. Yeah. So real quick, this is from ComicsAlliance.com. The most enduring character to carry the name Superwoman is actually a villain from the alternate reality Earth 3. This Superwoman is the crime syndicate of America's analog to Wonder Woman, and she is a twisted version of Lois Lane. In most incarnations, she's been portrayed as a sadist, and in recent more incarnations, Superwoman is hypersexualized and often plays Ultraman and Owlman against each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she is a concept that has been through many iterations with multiple women donning the mantle. The classic Superwoman, the first one, is Lois Lane, who first appeared under the name in 1943, before the crime syndicate.
Yeah, like some, like an alternate story, or somehow she got powers or something like that.
One of the S planets,
Yeah.
right? Earths
Yep.
that are out there. She first gained powers canonically in 1951 due to an experiment of Lex Luthor's. And Lois as Superwoman is an idea that has been revisited countless times over the years, notably in Grant Morrison and Frank Quietly's All-Star Superman #3.
Yeah.
So I wonder how it will go. I guess
Yeah.
we'll see.
It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. And the next Marvel Comics Star Wars miniseries is a solo adventure. Get it? Han Solo. See what I did there? Star Wars Han Solo is a 5-issue miniseries coming in June of 2016 with Marjorie Liu as writer and Mark Brooks on art. Takes place between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, like most of the series have.
Cool.
And Han enters a starship race called the Dragon Void Run, a race infamous for its entrance and difficulty. But Han is there also on a secret mission for the Rebel Alliance, hoping to rescue informants and spies who have been caught up in related trouble.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, sounds really cool.
Nice.
And I'm sure we'll see. Of course, Chewie will be with him.
Yeah, you think they're going to set up...
I wonder if we'll see Lando.
well,
because Lando...
This is when they talked about...
yeah.
Yeah, their little pirate adventure things.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, so that could be
I
interesting.
mean, they had a Lando series
Yeah.
already.
I didn't read that. Did you read it?
I got one issue of it, and it was
Yeah.
just okay. I mean, he's
Yeah.
good. He's smooth, and he's a pirate.
Yeah.
And then you see some little things he does for the rebellion.
Okay. Yeah. But the February sales numbers are in. And we had a little surprise. The overall numbers, Marvel Comics 42%.
That's a lower percentage than normal for Marvel.
Yeah, I think a little bit.
Yeah.
DC Comics 29%. Image Comics 10%.
Cool.
And lower than that, it's like,
Dark Horse.
everybody's
Boom, IDW. Yeah.
clumped around like 5%.
My gun.
Yeah. Now the top 10 comics, top 10 selling issues. Number 1, Dark Knight 3, The Master Race number 3.
Hey, all right.
2, Star Wars number 16.
Okay.
3, Batman number 49.
Wowee.
It's usually Batman is the lone entry.
And it's not this high in the run.
And it's not that. Yeah, it's usually
Yeah.
like 7 or 8. That one has pumped up.
Yes.
Number 4 is Spider-Man number 1, and that is the Miles
one.
Morales
Okay.
series.
Brand new.
Yeah. Number 5 is Deadpool.
Mercs for money.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry, I lost my place there. Yeah, Deadpool Mercs for Money number 1. Then number 6 is Deadpool number 7, so the regular series.
Yes.
7 is Darth Vader number 16. 8 is Power Man and Iron Fist number 1.
Oh, that's the Stealth Freeze cover, right?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. And 9 is Amazing Spider-Man number 7. 10 is Justice League number 48.
Holy wow.
So the Justice League jumped back up into the top 10.
Nice.
That's interesting. That's 3 entries in the top 10 where there's usually 1.
Yeah.
For
And it's
DC.
just Batman.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess technically 2 of those are Batman because it's Batman the Dark Knight.
Right.
Dark Knight 3, The Master Race. But still, DC having 3 entries in the top 10 is an improvement.
Well, Dark Knight will go away, right? But
Yeah.
Batman and Justice League are ongoing series.
Yep.
So those are great that they made it back in.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no Avengers up there.
It's true.
No A-Force.
Well, the problem is there's like 8 different Avengers series, so I don't know which one to read.
That's right. It's like Rust Belt Avengers.
Exactly.
We are your Bible Belt Avengers.
Yeah, so you've got your choices with the Avengers. So.
Grand Canyon Avengers to the rescue.
That's awesome. I want to return to the West Coast Avengers. Do you
Great
remember them?
Lakes. Yeah, I remember West Coast.
Yeah, there was a Great Lakes Avengers, wasn't there?
There sure was.
Yes.
West Coast had Hawkeye was the leader
Yep.
for a while. Yeah, and She-Hulk, I think.
And, I think Iron Man was originally part of it.
So was Wasp, too. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I remember they tried.
They tried.
They
Yeah.
tried. Wonder Man, because he was all
Wonder
Mr.
Man,
Hollywood.
that's right,
All
yeah.
Hollywood man, yeah.
He had the glasses, the
and the
sunglasses.
sports car and red leather jacket.
All right, well, that is a spin of our comic rack. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the greatest science fiction novels of the 80s.
Hi, I'm Louis Black, and I'm a big supporter of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and its mission to cure CF. People ask me, Louis, what's your personal connection to CF anyway? Well, I don't have one. I'm just passionate about finding a cure. The CF Foundation has made amazing progress. People are living longer, healthier lives today because of innovative new treatments made possible through the foundation. But that's not enough. We need a cure, and we need it yesterday. The progress we have made is a direct result of the dedication and donations of folks like you and me. There's still more that needs to be done. Oh, no. I knew it. He wants our money. Well, yeah. I feel like an idiot for asking, but aren't you just going to throw some of it away each week on something stupid? So why not throw some of it our way? You'll feel better about yourself, and I won't have to come to your home and yell at you. Support the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and help make CF stand for Cure Found.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ninja Troll Digicast proudly presents The Showcase.
All right, welcome back to the Ninja Troll Digicast. Now it's time for our showcase, our ongoing showcase, you might say, about the greatest science fiction novels. We started in the 50s, then we did 60s, 70s, now we've reached the 80s. The next one we do, I'm going to take a little offshoot into cyberpunk, which is
It's big enough to be
it's big enough to be its own, and it's something that I really love.
Nice.
So I can dig into that really good. But this is going to be the greatest science fiction novels of the 80s. Top of the list is one that goes in the other category as well of cyberpunk, Neuromancer.
I was going to
Gibson.
say, are you going to give you a preview of the?
But you got, like I was saying last time we were talking about it, I'm going to do, cyberpunk. But any list of the greatest novels, science fiction novels of the 80s,
Neuromancer has
it's
to be
got to start with Neuromancer as far as I'm concerned. So Neuromancer was 1984 Nebula winner, 1985 Hugo winner.
Nice.
And the description, The Matrix is a world within the The Matrix is a world within the world, a global consensus, hallucination, the representative of every byte of data in cyberspace. Case had been the sharpest data thief in the business until vengeful former employees crippled his nervous system. But now a new and very mysterious employer recruits him for a last chance run. They target an unthinkably powerful artificial intelligence orbiting the Earth in service of the sinister Tessier Ashpool business clan. With a dead man riding shotgun and Molly, the mirror-eyed street samurai, to watch his back, Case embarks on an adventure that ups the ante on an entire genre of fiction. This book, if you've never read it, just strap in and enjoy it. It is absolutely, it's as game-changing as any other novel, a science fiction novel that kind of redid the way we do science fiction.
Oh, that's
This
great.
is the first mention of cyberspace.
Yeah.
This is the invention of the concept of the Matrix. I mean, that controls all this.
Generative world.
Yeah. It's and every since then, we've kind of led to that of having a virtual reality representation of the internet. There's so much that came out of this one book. Quite frankly, the word cyberspace
Yeah.
is now
We
accepted.
rarely
as-
say it anymore, right? We say internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you talk about cyberspace, it's a concept now. It came from this book. 84 was 30 years ago. Over 30 years ago. That boggles your mind right there. And reading this little synopsis here for this, it's like, okay, I need to pick it up and read it again. It was so good. And Molly is he always talked about her eyes. They were she had given up her eyes for cybernetic implants that could do other things, and it was nothing but mirror.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was just
I've always known this book. I've never read it. What I had when I was in grad school, we read this and The Library of Babel by Jorge Luis Borges, which is a equally sort of strange story about like a digital knowledge place. Wasn't digital, but it was like a index place, like the internet. And so I've only read passages sort of about descriptions of these worlds, and it was like, well, all right, if you're a digital artist, here's you, go, right? And it was like, whoa, So I've always been a fan of this, but I've never sat and just done the whole thing.
Yeah, you should read it. It's really, really good.
Is it like Blade Runner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Is it
what Blade Runner
utopian?
was based on was Do Androids Dream of
Electric Sheep?
Electric Sheep, which was probably 10 years at least before it.
Okay.
But it was that feel of a different reality. You're not quite sure. Like, Case used to live his entire life online. He didn't worry about other stuff. Now he can't do it, and that he's had to rebuild his life.
Oh, wow.
And now he gets another shot. But to get another shot, he has to
give up,
take out the AI.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, it's incredible, and it's got one of the. I mean, a first line is something that sticks with me. I like a first line of a novel to really set the tone, and this is one of the best ones. The sky was the color of a TV turned to a dead channel.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's just awesome.
That's like Call Me Ishmael.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it's immediately sets the tone. This is a grim book, and it is. I mean, and it was actually part one of a trilogy.
Oh.
So yeah,
I didn't know there was others.
Yep.
Gibson. Wow.
We'll get into that in the cyberpunk section.
All right, I'm excited.
There you go. See. The next one is Timescape by Gregory Benford. It won the 1980 Nebula Award. And this is one I have never read, but now reading this description, I really want to get it and check it out.
Yeah.
It's set in 1962. A young Californian scientist finds his experiments spoiled by mysterious interference. Gradually, his suspicions lead him to a shattering truth. Scientists from the end of the century are using subatomic particles to send messages into the past in hope that history can be changed and a world-threatening catastrophe can be averted. Ooh. That's a pretty cool concept.
I like that. Yeah.
I like that, yeah. That's, I got to pick that up.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Again, it's one of those that I've seen, and I know the cover. I just never have actually read it.
Very cool. Sounds like it could happen today.
Yeah.
Well, with algae blooms and diebacks of extinctions of animals and plants.
Yeah.
Nice. Nuclear terrorism.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But sending a backwards through time on subatomic particles. That's a pretty cool concept.
Message in a bottle. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The next one is Startide Rising by David Brin. 1983 Nebula Award winner, and 1984 Hugo Award winner. David Brin's uplift novels are among the most thrilling and extraordinary science fiction ever written. Sundiver, Startide Rising, and The Uplift War, all New York Times bestsellers. together make up one of the most beloved sagas of all time. Bryn's tales are set in a future universe in which no species can reach sentience without being uplifted by a patron race. But the greatest mystery of all remains unsolved. Who uplifted humankind?
I love the like cyber dolphin.
Yeah, that's the thing. That this I've known about it. Never, I don't think I've ever read it, but I know it had to do with dolphins. They were like sentient dolphins that were along with the humans.
They wear like armor and stuff.
Yeah, it says the Terran exploration vessel Streaker has crashed in the uncharted world of Kithra, bearing one of the most important discoveries in galactic history. Below, a handful of her human and dolphin crew battles armed rebellion and a hostile planet to safeguard her secret, the fate of the progenitors, the fabled first race who seeded wisdom throughout the stars. So it's the idea that aliens came and put us here,
nice,
and put other species on different planets.
That's not true.
Could be. You don't know.
I've seen Chariots of the Gods.
There you go. So yeah, it's like I said, I've never read it, but I knew that dolphins, like sentient dolphins, were involved. Which I think it's funny is also Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide.
Oh yeah.
Also, dolphins are the most
dolphins.
Yeah, they are the most intelligent species on Earth.
I could have told you that,
including humans.
I could have. I've been to SeaWorld.
And when they decided that, they knew the Earth was going to be destroyed, so they took off. They left them one message: so long and thanks for all the fish.
That's what I would say. You want to be gracious.
Yeah. The next one is Blood Music by Greg Bear, 1985 Nebula Award. An amazing breakthrough in genetic engineering made by Virgil Ulam is considered too dangerous for further research. But rather than destroy his work, he injects himself with his creation and walks out of his lab, unaware of just quite how his actions will change the world.
Cool.
So you've got the age-old story of scientific hubris.
Yeah.
Just taking matters into your own hand and almost like a Frankenstein kind of deal.
Yeah. This is called Blood
Music.
Blood Music.
Yeah.
Nice.
The next one is one of my all-time favorites and in a classic of science fiction, Ender's Game, Orson Scott Card.
Yes.
1985 Nebula Award, 1986 Hugo Award. In order to develop a secure defense against a hostile alien race's next attack, government agencies breed child geniuses and train them as soldiers. A brilliant young boy, Andrew Ender Wiggin, lives with his kind but distant parents, his sadistic brother Peter, and the person he loves more than anyone else, his sister Valentine. Peter and Valentine were candidates for the soldier training program but didn't make the cut. Young Ender is the Wiggin drafted to the orbiting battle school for rigorous military training. Ender's skills make him a leader in school and respected in the battle room, where children play at mock battles in zero gravity. Yet growing up in an artificial community of young soldiers, Ender suffers greatly from isolation, rivalry from his peers, pressure from the adult teachers, and an unsettling fear of the alien invaders. His psychological battles include loneliness, fear that he is becoming like the cruel brother he remembers, and fanning the flames of devotion to his beloved sister. Is Ender the general Earth needs? But Ender is not the only result of the genetic experiments. The war with the buggers has been raging for 100 years, and the quest for the perfect general has been underway for almost as long. Ender's two older siblings are every bit as unusual as he is, but in very different ways. Between the three of them lie the abilities to remake a world, if, that is, the world survives. This one was absolutely awesome, and way bigger than you think it is, because like the other two have powers just as much as his that can change things over. Mm-hmm. But the thing that really caught me about Ender's Game was they were there and they were in these zero-G simulations where they're fighting each other, and you think they're just playing games and you're teaching them strategy and stuff like that. What they're really teaching them is troop move, or like ship movements in space, and how to. They do it in zero-G, so they don't
they
have
learn
that preconceived notion of a 2D
Right.
movement. And as they progress, Ender starts to realize these simulations aren't simulations. When they move on from them being in 0G to being hooked up to things where they control ships, these aren't simulations anymore. We're attacking the buggers and we're controlling them. And he ends up winning, and then he has to deal with the fact that he just wiped out an entire species.
Oh wow! Oh, so in other words, when they think they're training, they're actually sending these AI drones, and they think, oh well, we're just shooting.
We're playing a game,
but they're really using it to.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
They're really waging a war.
This was a movie, right, with Ben Kingsley and Harrison
I still haven't seen
Ford?
it because Orson Scott Card was quick to say, "This is its own movie. This is not my Ender's Game."
Oh, okay.
So
and you read Ender's Game?
Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
you all right.
And so
Gotcha.
I haven't. Well, I probably will watch it, but he didn't really disavow him, separate himself completely from it.
Yes.
He just said, "This is not my. This is a variation of my story."
Okay.
So
which, that's fair. He didn't say, "Oh, it stinks."
Yeah, exactly. And he was actually a student for one semester. He was a student in our MFA program, a Master of Fine Arts program here at Queen's University. And I didn't realize it until he was no longer a student.
Oh.
Because I was going to talk to somebody and arrange a meeting because I love his work. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But yeah, he writes a blog, and it's not just about science fiction. He writes about pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And he loves good food. He's a gastronome. So he writes about that, and he wrote about the food here at Queen's University.
Uh-oh.
No, he was praising it.
Oh.
Because, quite frankly, if you just eat here every once in a while, the food is really good.
But if you eat here every day,
if you're here every day,
you can see the fluctuation of quality, and most of the time it's not always great.
And it's the same stuff,
right,
over and over again.
Yes.
But if you it's a low residency program for the MFA, so they're here for 2 weeks.
Right.
So yeah, he was wrote in glowing terms about the food here.
And they usually put on a shine for those folks. Yeah.
And that's exactly. They do that as well. So yeah, I read that on his blog, and I was like, whoa, holy crap, he was here.
He is a fictional author,
and helped the MFA with different things. I could have very well seen him and not even realized it.
Probably like, damn hippie. As you walk by him.
Probably.
Yeah, and here with your long hair, hippie, author hippie.
So then after I read it, I sent a little email to the lady who's in charge of the program and say, next time they're here, if I can.
Oh, Melissa?
If I can arrange an introduction. And she said, unfortunately, he's not signed up anymore. So, dang it. So, but hey. And then the very next year, he came out with the sequel to Ender's Game, Speaker for the Dead. He also, again, won the 1986 Nebula Award and the 1987 Hugo Award. That's the only time that's happened that an author has won back-to-back Nebula and Hugo Awards.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Speaker for the Dead, in the aftermath of his terrible war, Ender Wiggin disappears, and a powerful voice arose, the Speaker for the Dead, who told the true story of the Bugger War. Now, long years later, a second alien race has been discovered. But again, the aliens' ways are strange and frightening. And again, humans die. And it is only the Speaker for the Dead, who is also Ender Wiggin, the Xenocide, who has the courage to confront the mystery and the truth. So he's become to be known as the Xenocide.
Nice.
Because he destroyed the entire bugger race.
Well,
but he's also
alien killer. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's also Speaker for the Dead, and nobody knows it. So it's his way of atoning for what he did.
For being Green Lantern.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
Now, the next one on the list, Dawn by Octavia E. Butler. Rescued from Earth's destruction, one woman is called upon to revive mankind. Lilith Iyapo has just lost her husband and son when atomic fire consumes Earth, the last stage of the planet's final war. Hundreds of years later, Lilith awakes, deep in the hold of a massive alien spacecraft piloted by the Onkali, who arrived just in time to save humanity from extinction. They have kept Lilith and other survivors asleep for centuries as they learned whatever they could about Earth. Now it is time for Lilith to lead them back to her home world. But life after the Onkali on the newly resettled planet will be nothing like it was before. The Oankali survive by genetically merging with primitive civilizations, whether their hosts like it or not. For the first time since the nuclear holocaust, Earth will be inhabited. Grass will grow, animals will run, and people will learn to survive the planet's untamed wilderness. But their children will not be human. Not exactly.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's you can do this, but you have a price that has to be paid. You have to merge with this other alien species.
Damn.
But you can save the Earth.
Why do they always throw it down? Like, it's
Hey,
got to
you
be
gotta do
like
that.
everything or none. Like,
That's
just,
right.
Damn.
There's your choice. Do it. Do it. The next one is Hyperion by Dan Simmons. This is the 1990 Hugo Award winner.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yes. On the world called Hyperion, beyond the law of the hegemony of man, there awaits the creature called the Shrike. There are those who worship it. There are those who fear it. And there are those who have vowed to destroy it. In the Valley of the Time Tombs, where huge brooding structures move backward through time, the Shrike waits for them all. On the eve of Armageddon, with the entire galaxy at war, seven pilgrims set forth on a final voyage to Hyperion, seeking the answers to the unsolved riddles of their lives. Each carries a desperate hope and a terrible secret, and one may hold the fate of humanity in his hands. Dan Simmons is an incredible writer. He will very often make your head hurt because of the concepts he comes up with are just crazy and crazy good. There's another series that he had, I think the first one was called Olympus, and Ilium was the second one. It's a group of aliens reenacting the Trojan War. The whole deal. And they have
like
their
Achilles and Agamemnon on the beach and stuff, and
they have their recorders who are humans that they resurrected and gave certain powers to. Like I said, it makes your head hurt, but you can't stop reading. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. And Hyperion is the same way. It's like, and it's one of those books that it takes you almost like Clockwork Orange.
yeah,
You just have to grab on and try to figure out what these words mean as you going.
oh wow,
But
so there's a lot of jargon like that type of deal.
Yeah, but
man, that's crazy.
But it's well worth it. it's well worth it. The next one is The Snow Queen by Joan D. Vinge, 1981 Hugo Award winner. The imperious winter colonists have ruled the planet Tiamat, for 150 years, deriving wealth from the slaughter of the sea mers. But soon the galactic stargate will close, isolating Tiamat, and the 150-year reign of the summer primitives will begin. All is not lost if Arianhod, the ageless corrupt Snow Queen, can destroy destiny with an act of genocide.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. You can fix everything with genocide.
Yeah.
Next one, The Restaurant at the End of the Universe by Douglas Adams.
Yeah, Douglas Adams. I know
This
that one.
is part 2 of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Facing annihilation at the hands of the warlike Vogons is a curious time to have a craving for tea. It could only happen to the cosmically displaced Arthur Dent and his curious comrades in arms as they hurtle across space, powered by pure improbability. That's right, there's the improbability drive. And desperately in search of a place to eat. Among Arthur's motley shipmates are Ford Prefect, a longtime friend and expert contributor to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Zaphod Beetlebrox, the three-armed, two-headed ex-president of the galaxy, Tricia McMillan, a fellow Earth refugee who's gone native, her name is Trillian now, and Marvin, the moody android who suffers nothing and no one very gladly. Their destination, the ultimate hotspot for an evening of apocalyptic entertainment and fine dining, where the food literally speaks for itself. Will they make it? The answer is hard to say, but bear in mind that the Hitchhiker's Guide deleted the term future perfect from its pages since it was discovered not to be.
That sounds awesome.
I love the Hitchhiker's Guide. Everything is just so funny. And it's so yeah, it's you do yourself well to sit down and just read the entire the 5-part trilogy.
Oh, jeez, tell you what,
As it's called, the increasingly badly named trilogy. And speaking of trilogies, the next one is God Emperor of Doom, by Frank Herbert. This, I think, was either the second or the third part. I don't remember exactly which. Millennia have passed on Arrakis, and the once desert planet is green with life. Leto Atreides, the son of the world's savior, the Emperor Paul Muad'Dib, is still alive, but far from human. To preserve humanity's future, he sacrificed his own by merging with a sandworm, granting him near immortality as God Emperor of Doom for the past 3,500 years. Leto's rule is not a benevolent one. His transformation has not only made his appearance inhuman, but his morality. A rebellion has risen to oppose the despot's rule, led by Sione, a member of the Atreides family. But Sione is unaware that Leto's vision of a golden path for humanity requires her to fulfill a destiny she never wanted or could possibly conceive. So that's the continuation of the Doom series.
Nice.
Doom series, not Doom. Yeah. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah. The BFG. Is there a BFG in?
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would take care of a sandworm, I think. Too.
I think so.
Probably.
I think it would help. Yeah, it would definitely.
Now, the next one is another continuation of a series. This is 2010 by Arthur C. Clarke, the continuation of the 2001.
Oh, this was the Roy Scheider movie.
Yes, they did make a movie with Roy Scheider, yeah. 9 years after the disastrous Discovery mission to Jupiter in 2001, a joint U.S.-Soviet expedition sets out to rendezvous with the derelict spacecraft to search the memory banks of the mutinous computer HAL 9000 for clues to what went wrong and what became of Commander Dave Bowman. Without warning, a Chinese expedition targets the same objective, turning the recovery mission into a frenzied race for the precious information Discovery may hold about the enigmatic monolith that orbits Jupiter. Meanwhile, the being that was once Dave Bowman, the only human to unlock the mystery of the monolith, streaks toward Earth on a vital mission of his own. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
He became the big old space baby.
Yeah. My God, it's full of stars.
It's full of stars. But the next one is a return of one of my favorite authors, Isaac Asimov, Foundation's Edge. This was a 1983 Hugo Award and the first Foundation novel he had written in probably at least 25, if not 30 years.
Wow.
At last, the costly and bitter war between the two foundations had come to an end. The scientists of the first foundation had proved victorious. Now they returned to Harry Seldon's long-established plan to bring a new empire that the second foundation is not destroyed. I think I've skipped a little bit there. The second foundation is not destroyed after all, and that is still defiant survivors are preparing their revenge. Now the two exiled citizens of the Foundation, a renegade councilman and the doddering historian, set out in search of the mythic planet Earth and proof that the second Foundation still exists. Meanwhile, someone or something outside of both foundations seems to be orchestrating events to suit its own ominous purpose. Soon representatives of both the first and second foundations will find themselves racing towards a mysterious world called Gaia, and in a final shocking destiny at the very end of the universe. This was the ones he wrote in the 80s. They continued the series, but then started to connect them all.
Oh,
so because he's had 3 big series.
Had he not written them as one big thing?
No,
oh, wow.
he had connected them later. His big series are the robot novels,
Mm-hmm.
then the Galactic Empire novels, and then the Foundation series. This started to connect them all together because they go. There's never been any mention in Foundation. There's never been any mention of Earth, but now they go looking for Earth, and he wrote another robot novel in '85, I think it was, called The Robots of Dawn. That's also on the list here.
Gotcha.
And this is back. The robot novels are set maybe 200-300 years from now. And in Robots of Dawn, a puzzling case of roboticide sends New York detective Elijah Bailey on an intense search for a murderer, armed with his own instincts.
Roboticide.
Yeah,
Is that real?
A humanoid robot was put out of service, or whatever you would call it.
Wow.
So they had to invent the term because
it's a crime.
Because
right now,
it's a
obviously.
crime. Well, it was a very complicated thing because it was connected to politics, but it was also connected to the ability to make humanoid robots. Because the spacers in Asimov's robot universe,
Yeah.
the Earth people hate robots. They don't want them. The spacers are humans that have colonized other planets with the help of robots. But unfortunately, they've realized that now having the robots make them, while it makes their life easier
Right.
and their lifespan longer, it also makes them less likely to take risk, and exploration and colonizing is a big risk. So they're slowly starting to die off.
Wow.
So a humanoid robot, Elijah Bailey has had a humanoid robot as his partner
Right.
on the two other times that he's had a case.
Yes.
And there's only one other humanoid robot. That's the one that gets destroyed. So there's a claim that the man who owns it, for lack of a better term, although he doesn't look at it that way. He
Right.
looks at it as more of an entity. That he destroyed it to keep other scientists from being able to replicate his work.
Okay.
Because the other scientists want to use humanoid robots to colonize other planets. They send humanoid robots. It's then set up for a human to be part of, and then they can go from one basically decadent place to another decadent
And
place.
not have to do the work.
And not have to do the work.
Oh boy.
And while it's his own property, so if he destroys it, it's not that big of a deal,
Mm-hmm.
but it would destroy him politically, and he's Earth's biggest friend or ally in the spacers at this point. So he has to make sure that he's not proven guilty at destroying something that was his own property anyway, or
Damn.
all of Earth could be in trouble. No
Wow.
pressure.
Yeah. Right.
No pressure at all.
Yeah.
And he's on a planet that nobody wants him on. They all think he's like a bag of diseases because the Earthlings are they live in these big hive caves crammed together where the spacers are all spread out. There's like the entire population of one of their worlds is like 10 million. And they're spread out all over.
Oh,
They
wow.
all have.
So then it's nothing.
Yeah, they all have
Yeah.
like, big, huge estates of like 100 acres. And there's like 300 robots to one person.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, and that was the thing. He started to, with the Robots of Dawn, this was another one in that. Then right after that, he released Robots and Empire. And the Earthlings had, because things went well with the guy who was an ally of Earth, they
Spoiler
start
alert.
to,
Okay.
yeah, spoiler alert, they start to colonize planets themselves.
Yep.
So it's the spacers over here that like robots, and then the settlers over here that don't. And in Robots and Empire, things come around to start building the Galactic Empire that was in his Galactic Empire novels.
Ah. Okay. Now that okay.
Then
Wow.
he writes another.
He really brought that around, didn't he?
Yeah, and he writes another Foundation novel called Foundation and Earth, where they find Earth and they find something that connects them all back to the robot novels.
Damn.
Yeah.
He's good.
So it turned out to be one big long stretch of future history that he had written about.
And then he brought it all back.
Yep.
Yeah, and reconnected it all.
Yep.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was good
Wow.
stuff.
Well, it certainly gets you, primed to go buy those.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You
So
can borrow
you're-
them from me. I've got them.
All right. Cool. Love it.
The next one on the list is Millennium by John Varley. A group of
Was this a movie too?
This was this one was turned into a movie. Yes, there was another. Ben Bova had a novel named Millennium as well.
Okay.
And I think it came out around the same time, because I remember in the paperback it had a thing at the beginning that said, my friend Ben Bova has one. We didn't realize it was going to be named the same thing, but it was basically too late at that point.
Oh.
So.
But here it is.
Yeah, here it is. Yeah. A group of scientists from the far future have hit upon the perfect method for moving people through time. They engineered disasters in what we call the present and whisk the people away forward in time, a fraction of a second before they are to die. When an investigator begins his investigation into a mid-air collision between two planes, he never dreams that he will turn up evidence of time travel. So basically, in the future, we've abused the planet so much that the human race is dying out. So we need more people. So they look in.
Oh, I see.
They find disasters that are going to happen. Go back in time right before then, like this case of the two planes that crashed.
Oh, and take those people?
They take those people, put in burned remains.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that was the thing.
And they're just dead.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, they're being brought to a whole new reality. Oh, that's awesome.
And that was when the guy's investigating. The cockpit recorder, the co-pilot was going to go back to the bathroom or something like that. He comes running back into the cockpit and goes, "They're all dead. Everybody's burned up." And then seconds later, "Hey, there's a plane!" Bang, and it's over.
Oh, so they
and
saw
so
it.
he's like, "Okay, well, what the hell's going on?"
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
And I'm not sure if the movie was made from this, or whether it was just a coincidence again of having the same name.
Yeah, I always thought, because I remember Millennium being about that, where people were taken off of because they show a plane where it's about to crash, and then they have the what's called, they have this aliens come and take the people off the plane.
Yeah. Oh, this is
an old movie. It's I feel like maybe early 2000s or.
This is a TV show that was done by Chris Carter, the creator of the X-Files.
Oh, maybe
I don't think that was it.
TV show? No.
Lance Hendrickson. No, that was different. Let's see if I can find the movie.
That's cool.
Yeah. I remember that code. That was let's see here. Yeah, two jetliners collide. Yep. Put in charge of investigation, and it came out in '89, so it wasn't long after this book.
Yeah, I thought I remembered something, because as you're talking about it, I'm like, I don't remember.
I remember that. Yeah.
Is the plane flying through some weird?
Yep. The cover is it coming through
like a time warp
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. It was a really good book.
Damn.
It was awesome.
Good stories.
Yeah.
Weird,
but hey, it's the '80s. Come on.
Yeah.
So that is a look at the greatest science fiction novels. Obviously, like I said, some of them are my favorites, and so I can talk about them over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But there's some that
nobody's got time for that.
Yeah.
But
there's some. It's like I've looked at it. It's like, okay, yeah, I need to get that. Now you read that. It sounds really, really good.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it's great synopses. And then, so you're gonna do Cyberpunk not next week, in 2 weeks.
Yeah, in 2 weeks I'll do Cyberpunk.
And how many novels are in that genre that makes it so big?
So far, I've come across. I've listed, I think, 12 or so.
Wow, that's still man.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And what'd you do today? How many were today in this one?
Let's see here. There was
about 10 or so, maybe a dozen.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Good Lord.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, in 16, because I talked about Robots and Empire and Foundation of Earth 2, so yeah, so 16, 17, something like that.
Very nice.
But yeah, it'll. And I think at some point I'd like to talk about go into great science fiction movies as well. So as they came, like go through the years again, and like this, and talk about stuff that came out, and lead it to other stuff, and
TV shows would be good
Yeah.
too. I mean, comic books, science fiction comic books.
I've got a giant illustrated history of science fiction, and almost like a coffee book table.
Perfect.
I mean, coffee table book, not a coffee book table.
Thank you, Kramer.
Yeah, it's huge, and it goes through each decade, and it talks about the novels that came out then, and then the movies, and on into the TV shows and everything.
Love it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Cool. So yeah, so that'll be in 2 weeks. Like next week, we'll go back to the
We'll be revisiting
multiverse.
Right, our countdown to Final Crisis. We'll read the next batch of issues. Some cool events are going to unfold.
Cool.
We'll get a bunch more, I think, in this next week. The initial a few had a lot going on, so
Okay.
That'll compress that down. So that's what we can look forward to in our exploring the multiverse segment.
All righty. All right. Well, before we get out of here, we want to give you our picks for the week. Mine is The Coming of the Supermen by Neil Adams.
Nice.
It just came out. I think it came out last week, maybe. I haven't had a chance to do more than just glance through it, but it's Neil Adams in full stride.
Oh, that's
great.
great.
It looks there's a full page spread of Calabac just coming right at you, screaming, and just it looks so awesome.
Oh, that's great.
And it's three what seems to be Kryptonians have landed on Earth, and they're fighting the people from Apocalypse, and and they're all wearing
sold. Yeah,
they're
that sounds
all
great.
wearing Superman uniforms, and they're talking
wow.
to each other, and they're saying, respect the suit and make sure we honor it. So I'm interested to see how this plays out, what their connection to Kal-El is, whether they came from
the
Kandor,
future or right.
they could have come from Kandor. So I'm interested to see it play out. But yeah, Neil Adams is not lost a step. His stuff looks incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's always been an amazing artist. I mean, and a real favorite. I mean, if you're, if you just want to get into go to school about what comic book style looks like, he's the man. So I have a very simple one. The animated series, The Batman from the mid-2000s, is back on Netflix. And I think that went about eight seasons.
Is that?
It preceded Brave and the Bold and was after Batman animated series ended.
Yeah.
And then Batman Beyond. I don't know if Batman Beyond was still going on at the time, but this is called The Batman. Here, I'll tell you here real quick.
Yeah, it wasn't the computer animated one, was it?
No, it was more of an anime style look to it.
And it actually, if I'm not badly mistaken, the original theme for this was done by The Edge from U2.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. But it looks like that it went for 5 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah. And there was I don't think it had our dude there doing the voice. Well, it had Adam West do the voice as well. But I don't think it had what's his name, Kevin Conroy, be the Batman voice.
No, it was somebody. It was somebody different.
But it was on from 2004 to 2006, WB, CW, and Cartoon Network. So and it was right in between Batman Beyond ended and then Batman the Brave and the Bold began.
Yeah, it was final episode date was March 22nd, 2008.
And Reno Romano was the voice of Batman.
Okay.
So I came across that. I was really excited because they with this latest Netflix sweep, they sort of took off a lot of great content, and that one came back.
Yeah.
So after being dormant for a while.
That's good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it being a good show. I never got into Brave and the Bold. because the animation style it just wasn't good.
Well, they're trying to hit that younger demographic. That'd be a great show to talk about on Showcase. Is like when DC and Marvel got young, they really tried, because like they had Superhero Squad and then Teen Titans Go were really two sort of, and then the Super Best Friends Forever, really trying to sort of hit that lower market. But I got to say, like, my daughter loves the Super Pets. Mm-hmm. We have like 5 of those books.
Yeah.
And like she loves to read them. I mean, they're good. But this artist, Art Balthazar, if you ever look him up, he does this really super simplified, almost like Powerpuff Girls and DC mashup, where it's super streamlined, like that old Scott McCracken cartoon, which is back, by the way. They're coming back to Netflix.
Oh, cool.
Brand new episodes on that. But anyway, The Batman, very cool, all on Netflix.
And the Joker, I'd forgot about it. The Joker on there was crazy looking. It was almost like a Rastafarian. He had what looked like dreads,
big crazy hair and stuff,
and big crazy red eyes.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, he was a little nutso.
That's all right.
But again, that's like we were talking about last week. The Joker is a character that can be done so many different ways.
Right.
So because there's no, it's been around so long. There's no like, oh, this has got to be this way.
Right. It's like,
and he's crazy. So
and I love it when they make the Joker crazier or more more particular about his outfit and like extravagant jokes and being obsessed with that sort of stuff. Then they really do right. He's such a malleable character, the Joker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
That's going to wrap up this week's edition of the Ninja Troll Digicast. Remember, for all the latest news from all around geek culture, make sure you follow us on social media, facebook.com/Ninja Troll Digicast.
On the tweeters at Ninja Troll Show.
And Instagram at Ninja Troll Digicast.
Yeah, I get you every time with that.
You do.
We're on the booby-ubi-tubes at youtube.com/Ninja Troll Digicast.
And you can always visit us at NinjaTrollDigicast.com. And while you're there, click on the subscribe to iTunes button to get the Ninja Troll on iTunes. Make sure you join us next week. Same Ninja time, same Ninja channel.
You've been listening to the Ninja Troll Digicast. Tune in next time when you'll hear Tim say,
And so he says to me, you want to be a bad guy? And I say, yeah, baby, I want to be bad. I says, sure some space ponies. I'm making gravy without the lumps.
This is the Ninja Troll Digicast, the defenders of all things geek culture.
Don't go ninja, nobody don't need ninja.